And I'm talking on mute again, aren't I? Okay, I know what you're thinking. This is becoming a trend. Oh man, it's and you know what's funny? It's before I I actually checked my line mic level to make sure it was not muted because it was the other day. And that wasn't the one that was muted. It was in StreamYard. That's hilarious. Okay. All right. That just goes to show, you know what? That night, it was a great stream. So that's just a sign that it's going to be another great stream tonight. So let me back up. So thank you guys for joining tonight on this Friday night. It's going to be a lot of fun and it's going to be a little bit different. So, in the past, I'll bring on content creators and bring them in and we'll talk about their channel. We'll talk about Scream, Halloween, all that good stuff. And tonight, though, is going to be a little bit different. It's the first time it's going to be this is what is a, basically I'm calling it a Members Perk live stream. And if you're wondering what that is, I'm glad you asked the question. So basically, for those of you who are channel members, you already know. But for those of you here that are not, you can become a channel member. And what you do is simply click the join button, which is right next to the subscribe button on the channel. And I know that some folks have had difficulty finding that. I will say this, if you pull up the channel on a laptop or a PC or what have you, you'll see it there. It's definitely going to be there. But I put a link in the chat earlier here. So if you're not a channel member and are interested in doing it, you can do that. You get lots of great perks and fun stuff, and you become a Cravenite. Yes, a Cravenite is a term you'll hear tonight, I'm sure, in the chat, and it will come up quite often. And basically, a Cravenite is someone who is a channel member. So we have our First Cut channel members. I want to say thank you to all of you guys. Absolutely amazing people. Your support, it really is humbling and means the world to me. And it helps this channel grow and continue to bring you more live streams, more videos, all those things, and elevate the content. So thank you guys so much. And you'll notice here that I have two Director's Cut channel members, Bob and Bobby. I love it. It's the double B's. Bob and Bobby are my Director's Cut level members. And so at this level of membership, you have the opportunity to come on and be a part of a live stream right here. And a lot of times I've had some people ask me about, well, how can I come on your channel? Well, this is one way that I've created that you can do that. So if you're currently a member, you can upgrade to that level and you'll be eligible. And if you're not, you can just join and come on in and you'll be able to come on to do a live stream with me. So it's a lot of fun. And tonight's the first one. And I'm very excited because first up, for the Members Perk live stream, the first one ever on the channel is tonight. Not going to be Bob. Bob, you're coming. I'll be reaching out to you at the end of the month so we can talk about May. So I haven't forgot about you. It's just not enough time yet. We're getting there. But tonight, it's not Bob. It's Bobby. What is up, Bobby?
Hey everybody. Hey Craven, how we doing tonight?
Man, I'm fantastic. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing great. Just happy to be here. I'm very excited for this.
Same here, man. I'm very excited as well. So glad that we're going to get to talk tonight about
for sure.
some great stuff, including we're going to talk some Scream 6. Got to work some Scream 6 into this, of course. But we're also going to spend. I asked Bobby, like, what would you like to talk about? And he expressed a serious, hardcore interest in the Scream television series. Yes, and real quick, I don't want to leave out my patrons. Sorry, guys. I meant to click you a moment ago. Thank you to my patrons as well. I appreciate all you guys. Absolutely. But yeah, so Bobby expressed the interest to talk about Scream TV. And I haven't really done a deep dive live stream here on the channel for Scream Television. So I thought this is the time to do it. Let's make this your Members Perk live stream. I want to make it yours. Like, what do you want to talk about? You kind of lead the way, and we'll go from there. And so, anyway, yeah, glad I got this audio thing fixed. I'm looking in the chat. I'll tell you what, I am going to make sure next time, tomorrow night is another live stream, but this one is going to be for members only. So just Cravenites, we're doing a live watch party of Hatchet. So anyway, tomorrow night, 9:15. Well, I'm thinking about it. So just want to say real quick to folks in the chat who are here. What's up, Nick? Nick, no audio. Appreciate all you guys letting me know. And Val, Strix.
That scared me too.
Well, listen, I didn't even know. I wasn't even aware. I was
Yeah.
like, because I didn't have the chat open. It's what happened last time. Jen, what's up? What's up, Shay? Good to see you. And Denisha, hey Denisha, and Denisha is now a Cravenite, ladies and gentlemen. And so, welcome, Denisha, to the family. You've always been a part of the family, but now you're part of the inner circle, the Cravenite family. So, appreciate you becoming a member. And Bob is here. Hey, Bob, just talking about you. What's up, Jackie? Glad you're here. Denisha said, I know I did. Thank you so much. Jackie says, highly recommend becoming a Cravenite. Oh, thank you, Jackie. Appreciate that. And Bobby's getting some love in the chat from Val.
Hello,
Jackie,
everybody.
definitely me. Hello, Bobby. There we go.
Hey, other Bob.
So Denisha says, how do we switch to membership? Is that possible? Yeah, you absolutely. So if you're talking about how do you change levels, yes, you can just go and click the join button again, and it'll let you upgrade the membership. Yeah. All right, and then necessary distractions popping in. Hey there, good to see you. Glad you're here. Bobby's getting some more love in the channel tonight.
Hey, everybody.
Oh, thanks, Bob. Appreciate you helping out there. Awesome. All right. So, if I've missed you, I do apologize. I see Dr. Andy here, so make sure. And I see. Whoa! Shut the front door. Bye-bye, Polar. Just became a member of the channel. Welcome, Polar, to the Cravenite family. Welcome. So, thank you so much. That really, really means a lot for you guys' support. So, thank you for joining and becoming a Cravenite. Now you're going to get an invitation from me to join the Hatchet viewing tomorrow night. So I hope you're free at 9:15. We're going to watch Hatchet live, and it's going to be a ton of fun. These watch parties, Bobby, these watch parties are really fun, dude. I'm
Yeah,
enjoying
yeah,
these watch
yeah. I
parties.
was at this Scream watch party. I was just listening, but it sounded. Oh, that was a wild, wild stream,
It
to
was,
say the
man.
least.
I'm telling you. And what's up, Elaine? It's all right. You're not late. Listen, we got started late. We had a little technical
Yeah,
difficulties we worked through. So you're
yeah,
actually right on time. You are totally good.
yeah.
Yeah, man, it was wild. What's up, Genevieve? Says this is so cool. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it. And we're just getting started, right, Bobby? We got all the
Amen to
time in the
that.
world, man.
Yes,
We're we are
sir.
just we are just warming up tonight.
100%.
So good stuff. So yeah, man. All right. So here's what I'm thinking. Maybe for tonight we will talk about. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna let you pick. All right, your choice. Do you want to start with Scream 6 or do you want to end with Scream 6?
Um, let's start with Scream 6. Why not?
Nice. Love it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it. So, we got some news this week, and Bobby, I don't know if you've had a chance to see my newest video yet that I put out
Yes.
regarding Nev. Okay, so we got some news and from Tyler in an interview where he basically is. Oh, and by the way, before we dive in, I want to say to everyone in the chat, thank you guys for my moderators. Thank you, my moderators. I appreciate you. I think I have a moderator in the house. I may not. Well, actually, I don't think anybody's here yet. There's moderating. I don't think. If Jen's here, yeah, Jen's here. Yeah, Jen, of course. Jen's a moderator. Val's a moderator, right? Or wait, Val, I'm going to make you a moderator. How about that? Sorry, we talk. I'm sorry, Bobby. Trust me. Anytime I take from now, I'm going to give it back. But
We got all the time, like you said. We're good.
that's right. I
No
reason
rush.
okay, thank you, because Val and I had been in contact. I want to make sure I've got her set to moderator. Let me just make sure. But we can talk now about Scream 6 and this news that came out where Tyler basically says Val is a moderator. So we're good. Okay, you're already set. Just making sure. So Tyler basically comes out and says that you don't, basically, I'm paraphrasing right now, that even if you're talking about like Nev Campbell, the legacy, even if they're not there, if Nev is not there, because we know Courtney's signed on, but if Nev is not there, she'll still be there. Like, and almost like, oh, wait a second, because this was the first time I've heard on any of the interviews, anything I've read or listened to. This is the first time I've ever seen where we have Radio Silence talking as if she may not be back. And normally it's always Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. There's a spot for. So I'm just wondering if they're beginning to lay the groundwork that Sidney Prescott, Nev Campbell, is not coming back. What are your thoughts, man? What did you think when you heard the news?
So I would really like to see Nev Campbell in Scream Six because she's Sidney Prescott. It's like Jamie
Yeah,
Lee to Halloween, but also
absolutely.
there it might be time to move on. I hate to say it, really do, but all good things come to an end. It's like
Hmm.
I don't know. I would
Yeah.
love to see her in it though. But just don't kill her off.
Oh gosh,
That's
no.
yeah, no, just don't kill
That's
her off.
that would be to me a colossal mistake if
Yeah,
Radio Silence was to kill her, dude. It would be a revolt. I would be so upset. I probably wouldn't even watch. I might literally walk out the movie if that movie started off and they said, you know, oh, it was terrible. Nev got, not Nev, but Sydney got in a car wreck going home from Woodsboro.
yeah,
After that,
no,
I'd be like,
yeah.
what? No.
Yeah, no, it would be like, what? No, just if you want to let her, live a happy life, fine. But killing her
Yeah.
would just be awful. Like,
Absolutely. No,
mm,
it would be. And I, for the one, though, have to say, and I've always said this, again, it's personal preference. It's like there's no really right or wrong answer. It's just
yeah,
what you like over another thing. I am one of those who really wants to see her in the movies. I'm like, she's in her late 40s. She's not even 50 years old. It's like, we've got
yeah,
Jamie Lee Curtis over here playing Laurie Strode in her 60s.
yeah,
Nev is a young
crazy.
pup compared to Louis Strode in terms of
Yeah,
movie world. So I'm like, there's no reason to have to get rid of her. I mean, I understand,
yeah,
I guess, that if at some point they're going to want to move away from it. But here's my thought though: if she's not in Scream Six, I'm okay with it only if it's revealed that she's back in Scream 7. Like, what if we're having a situation here, Bobby, where we've got Nev Campbell taking a break for a year for a movie? We're going to have Gale be the focus of Scream
yeah,
6, possibly with kind of the co focus. But then we're setting up the ultimate return because if the Stu train is rolling, as I think it is, and I know you're with me on that,
100%.
if we see the Stu cult, which was started by um, Stu Mocker, I mean, really, the Dreaded Thread was started by
Yeah,
Stu Mocker, who placed that and got Amber and got Richie recruited. If we see this continuing across the country, and what if, man, in 7, we get the Stu reveal and Sydney has to come back to end him once and for all with the Tara and Sam or whoever's left. What do you think?
that would be great because I get Sidney Prescott back, I get Stu back. I mean, I think Stu has to come back at this point. It's like just they've been hinting at it a little too much for me to be like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so. But like, he's never, he didn't get shot, and
Nope, not
like
shot in
Billy
the
did.
head.
Yeah,
I mean, that's. I mean, come on, man. They're clearly. I don't think Carrie Creef Cinema's here right now, but she would lead the charge, and we're going to take it over, and we're going to
oh yeah,
say, "You got to get it up.
get
Let's
it
go.
up,
Get it up, man."
get it up. I
It is.
love
It
that picture.
is. Oh, I love that picture too, man. It's my
Yeah,
favorite. It is. It is Stu Mocker time.
yeah,
It is time. It's just period. You got. It's time to
yeah,
bring him back. The train has been fueling up for 19, what now, 20 something, 25 years, and
yeah,
it's time, man. So
yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
I mean, I want to see that. So that's what I personally I want to see is if she's back in 7, I'm okay with her not being in 6. But if they don't bring her back in the trilogy anymore,
Yeah,
I'm telling you, man, it's not going to sit too well with me. I'm
yeah,
being
me
honest.
neither. And then yeah, because Gale's leading the charge, but I
Yeah,
yeah,
I don't know.
I mean that would be a good way to get Sydney back if she's not in six. The Stu.
Yeah.
That's I because why else would she come back
Well,
unless
that's the
they
thing.
get
Why
the
would she
Gale?
come back? Yeah, that because that's the one of the
Yeah,
big questions is why is it why would she come back? Well, Stu Mocker. That's the reason.
yeah,
If Stu shows his face, she's going to be like, I have to go.
yeah.
Um,
I gotta see it to believe it.
yeah. False Hope says hi, Bobby.
Oh, hey, false up. Love the name.
Necessary distraction. Yeah, we want Sid there. Absolutely.
Oh yeah,
That's the ultimate showdown. Oh yeah.
that's the moment we've all been waiting for.
Yes. Did I hear my name?
Oh, that's
Ghostface.
awesome. I didn't even see that.
Tanisha says the train, y'all. That's right. We know Cravenites. We know what's up in here.
Yeah,
Stew. That's right, man.
check
We got
all
to
the
get it up.
comments.
Hashtag. I mean, oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Jen.
Love it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, okay.
Yeah.
So you're thinking that if they don't bring her back, maybe not the end of the world, but you still would
Yeah.
rather see her,
Yeah,
right?
I would rather see her, but like you said, if I have to skip Sydney in 6 to get to 7 with Stu, I'm willing to do it, hands down, easily.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
It's a
man. Same.
no-brainer.
Same.
Yeah, but it would kind of leave a sour taste in my mouth if Scream 5 was the last time we saw her. It would be.
Same here,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, it just
Because I
wouldn't be
wanted.
right, you know?
I agreed. I mean, they tried to kind of have maybe like a little. It kind of had a little sense of
Yeah,
like a closure to it, but at the same time,
yeah, no.
not really. I mean, anyways,
Mm,
I think that, and with Gale, and here's the thing with Gale. So let's shift a little bit. Let's move
mhm,
over to Weathers, Gale Weathers. So if the kind of the current idea is, and one that I talked about the other day was that if we have the college scene, right, McGill University in Montreal, right, so we've got the college scene going, but let's say that college is happening in New York. What if
mm,
Tara and the twins go to they want to get far away from California. So we're going to
yeah,
go all the way out to New York. We're going to go to New York City and we're going to go to college there. And then, of course, who else is in New York City, Bobby?
mm.
Gale
Gale
Weathers.
Weathers, yes,
Gale
sir.
Weathers is in New York.
Yeah,
So it would be very easy and organic to the story to have them in New York at college. Ghostface starts attacking, but there is Gale on the scene, and guess what? Someone's attacking Gale
mm,
at the studio or one of
mm,
the, and so now you've got these attacks going. So it wouldn't be forced if you go to Gale City for school,
yeah,
right? And
yeah.
I mean, what do you think about that? What do you think about a city setting like that?
I mean, it's an easy tie-in to get Gale back for sure. Like Gale had to fly from New York to Woodsboro or to California for Scream 5 just because of her history with it. But
Yeah.
like it's right in her backyard now, so it's like, oh, Gale Weathers is already here, so it's an easy way to get her in because how many times is she going to go back to Woodsboro? You know?
Right. It's
Mm,
like you almost kind of need to get out of Woodsboro
yeah,
because like you say, they got her back because of Dewey. That's the only reason she came back in 5, remember?
and Sydney, yeah,
She wasn't coming back.
yeah,
And then when Dewey was killed, she's like, "Okay, I got to go. I got kids now. I got to
yeah,
go. I got to go end this basically, you
yeah,
know?" And so again, what's going to get her to New York? I mean,
yeah,
nothing. I shouldn't say nothing. You have to be really careful how you write that because I mean, Stu, again, you got her back with that's automatic. You don't even have to.
yeah,
If he's in the picture, she's gonna be there. That's a
yeah. I
guarantee,
mean,
right?
oh, I mean, and he would be the one if Gale goes, he would be the one to do the killing. Everybody else
Yes.
would be the he'd be the mastermind. He wouldn't really kill, but Gale and Sydney are personal, so on that one, so
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yes, they are. They're very
yeah,
big time personal, and
yeah,
they go back to the original. I mean, you're talking about going back to '96, and one of the OG Ghostface killers who
yeah.
survived. Here he is, man, and he's back. And
And
woo,
Gale who ruined the plan pretty much to save
that's
Sydney,
true.
yeah,
That's
you
right.
know,
Oh my
awesome time.
gosh.
Yeah.
What's up, Nate Estate? Good to see you. Glad you're here. What's up, Craig? Welcome to the live stream. And Hollywood Gavin, thanks for being here. Says good point,
Oh,
Bobby.
that's my
Yeah,
friend. Hey, Gavin.
nice. And you had somebody here a little bit earlier saying that they were trying to call you. I think it was
What was
you
the
didn't
name?
answer. I'm
Yeah,
trying to find
probably.
it now. Oh my gosh, where are they? Oh dang it! I should have flagged it. I saw it
Eh,
earlier. Oh well. Whoever was calling,
they know
Bob
where
is.
I am.
Yeah, they know.
Yeah,
There you go. They know where you are.
yeah, they know where I am.
All right, we got a $5 super chat from James. Thank you, James. Appreciate you, man. What about Gail leaving Hollywood and teaching journalism at the university? Oh, now that's interesting. Instead
Okay,
of being at the studio, she left her show, and it's
teaching.
like, I'm going to go teach because I've been after what happened to Dewey. Maybe that made her drive for fame and all seem for nothing.
I like it.
I like it too,
Yeah, I'm
James.
on board.
That's a good one. I'm on.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like that a
yeah.
lot. That's
I didn't even think about that.
that's really good because either way, either whether she's working at the studio or she's at the university, the good thing is that she's still in New York, right? If they're going to do the New York setting, which Montreal, I mean, guys, the pictures of Montreal, if you look, and of course, there's different parts of it, obviously, but
Mm,
the cityscape they have is just, it's really gorgeous. It's
yeah,
skyscrapers, it's beautiful. So, but that, James, I like it, man. I like the idea about her being a teacher there. Awesome.
I
And
like it.
thank you for that $5 super chat, James. Really. You guys, these super chats you do, you don't have any idea how much they really help out this channel. They really help out. Your support is incredible. Thank you so much, buddy. All right, let's take a look here. Now, Val has a comment. She says there's two things that would get Sydney back in the mix: Gale being attacked or killed. Ooh, dun dun dun. Or Mark being attacked and killed in their home. Oh, dang, that would do it.
Yeah, I keep forgetting about Kincaid. I do, because they
Yep.
kind of just placed it in there a little. Okay, yeah, I mean, those are two easy ways to get her back for sure. Ooh,
Man, the
to
whole
bring back,
idea.
yeah,
How dark is that, Bobby? Mark
ooh,
being attacked in their home.
yeah,
That's
oh,
that's. Oh wow, that
that's
would
a
be.
new level of Ghostface. But,
But
ooh,
what if that was the
I mean,
opening of six? There's
oh,
Mark and her. Like the kids are at one of the family's house. They're
yeah,
having like alone time, just the two of them, no
yeah,
kids,
yeah.
and they friggin' attack him in the house, man.
I mean, that would be a good way to get Kincaid back and to get the actor, I'm blanking on his name, who
Oh,
played
Patrick
Mark
Dempsey.
Kincaid.
Patrick Dempsey.
Patrick Dempsey, yes.
Yeah, yeah,
To get Patrick Dempsey back because it's a small scene, and if he can't commit to the movie fully, that's a
right.
perfect way to get him in and get him out. I
Yep,
don't know.
it is. Get him
It
in,
might
get him
work.
out.
Yeah,
It might, and it would be a what again? What a tone setter
yeah.
for
Ooh,
seeing Mark Kincaid. I don't see. Here's the thing, though, Bobby. I have to say,
mm,
there is shock factor in that. There's
yeah,
no doubt about it. But the problem is, I don't like them bringing back legacy older characters
yeah.
to just kill them. It's like for Kirby,
For
I don't want to see them bring her back and then she's a killed or an opening kill or something. To me,
yeah,
I just again, it's personal preference. I don't like that. Just leave them alive. Leave them in the let them live out
yeah.
their lives. If you're gonna bring them in and just kill them, then I just don't. I don't like it. It just rubs me the wrong way. I'm like,
Yeah.
pick somebody else. But then at the same time, it does give you shock. Like,
Um,
you get
sets
that
the
of it,
tone.
but it sets the tone. So
Yeah.
it's a balancing thing. Jen, Jen says Patrick's not coming back. I know Jen. Jen is not a fan of Mark
Oh, really?
Kincaid. No, she's not. That's okay. No worries. It's all good.
Okay.
But I liked him in three personally. I did.
Yeah, same here.
I thought. Of course, he was the big red herring for me because I thought he was the killer in three, one of the killers for quite some time. And then when Sydney arrives at the house and there's the wand, the
Yeah,
the metal detector wand. I'm like, oh, that's a police wand. Like, oh
yeah.
shoot. But anyway, he wasn't, and
Yeah.
he was a
Good.
good guy. And now
Yeah.
they're married, so I'm good. I'm good with that.
Yep. Amen to that.
Oh, so those are some really interesting things to think about. Now, let me ask you, Bobby, about what do you think about the timeline here? Because we got the notification that it's going to be filmed in the summer. Now we know it actually starts on June the 4th through August the 10th. We know where it's at, and then they're releasing it March 31st of next year. So do you realize that this time next year it'll have been out for 2 weeks? We'll already have been talking about already be having videos like galore going on the movie, which is nuts. So what do you think about all that? I was nervous it was too fast, but I'm beginning to think that they were ahead of the game. They were prepared. They wouldn't be rushing into fail into to do something that's going to make them fail, right?
It actually blows my mind that it's less than a year away. It didn't even really cross my mind.
Yeah,
But
that's crazy.
it was the same thing with Scream One and Scream Two, and I thought Scream Two was very good,
Yeah.
especially with the swerve at the end. Like,
Oh,
I
I did
mean,
too.
if it's good, it's good. And I feel like I've heard this before. I feel like they've laid it out. They're not just coming
Yeah.
in. Yeah, I feel like they've had plans.
Well, I do too, man. And one of the things that really got me to believe that this was not a rush, quote, rush job
Yeah.
is because they rented the production offices across from McGill University. Guess when they signed the lease? They signed it on January the 12th, 2 days before Scream 5 was
Oh,
released.
okay.
So they are way ahead of the
Yeah.
game. They're playing poker with us because they are trying to
Yeah.
make us think that. But see, that explains why the movie was out for 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and they announced a sequel. Remember?
Yeah.
It's just like what? They're already announcing six. In fact, I only had like one Scream 5 video up, and they already had posted the announcement. But
That's
that makes
crazy.
sense now because they rented on January 12th. They were already ready to go for production offices lease for the summer,
Yeah.
and it's all been planned. So I think that Scream 6 script was written, probably outlined long ago, and they were just filling in the final portions of it before they sent it over to Nev and to Courtney, which
Yeah.
was last month or whatever. So that made me feel a little better though when I found out January 12th they already uh, leased the building for production offices.
Yeah.
So I think they're definitely on top of it. But because I was nervous, I'm like, yeah, it's been done before. But my thing about that was originally when I was thinking the same thing. But as I thought more about it, I'm like, wait a second, it was done before by a legend, Wes
Yeah.
Craven, which is a legendary filmmaker. He could pull off that kind of a schedule. He could actually do that. And Radio Silence, they've got a couple of major films under their belt now, and some other smaller films. So they're definitely not Wes Craven, at least not yet.
Yeah.
They might be one day, something in that realm. So that was my concern, but I feel better now because again, I think it has been in the works. But the question now leads us, Bobby, is what do you think about when are we going to get a casting list? We have no one announced but Courtney Cox. That's all we have.
Ooh, okay. Casting. Ooh.
So when do you think we're
Uh.
going to hear some news about when they're going to? I think they're filming on
Hmm.
June 4th. It's
Yeah.
it's
I would.
a month and a
June.
half.
Yeah. Or maybe they're just keeping quiet with who they're bringing in and out.
And that could be. I mean,
Yeah.
because you have to believe, right? You have to kind of believe that they've already got everyone locked down.
Yeah.
Because
For
if they're
sure.
going to film in June, if script's done, because like Nev Campbell, for example, I know they Nev said they were sending her a script, so she at some point did get a script. Good to see you too, Austin. I see you there, buddy. Um, and here's the thing: if she says no, if Nev Campbell says no, I'm not going to do the movie. Well, guess what? Now they've got to do a rewrite. They've got to rewrite it. They got to take her out. They got to fix it, massage it, and so it's the same case with Kate, with Mindy, Chad, Tara, and Sam. If any of them do not, decide to come back, like Jenna Ortega. So Jenna Ortega, for example, she is such a hot commodity right now, and her reputation is growing, and as her catalog grows or her resume gets longer, her
Mhm.
her paychecks are going to get larger. So, what happens if Jenna comes back and says, I've thought a lot about it. I think that here's what I'm going to need to be paid to do this.
Yep.
And what if Radio Silence in the studio says no, that's too much. Well, now you got to explain how Tara's gone, and replace her with something. And it's a whole nightmare of a mess. That's why I just it's hard for me to believe they're not really signed on
Yeah.
at this
No.
point. Not filming this. If they were filming in October, that would make more
Yeah.
sense. Maybe they're not. So yeah, I think you're right, man. I think they are signed on. It's more of keeping it quiet
Yeah.
and under the wraps, and they're just gonna like slowly trickle out the news of who's signed and who's not.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm thinking as well, man. I will tell you this: we're going to hear something. I have to believe in the next 4 weeks, right?
Oh
Because
yeah.
that's mid-May, and I mean we're going to have to know something by then. I would think.
Yeah. At least I think the four that survived Scream Five have to be back. Chad,
Yeah.
Mindy, Tara,
Yes.
Sam.
Yep.
I mean, how else would they? You know,
Right. I
it
know.
wouldn't make any sense for. I mean, I know Jenna Ortega's getting pretty big, and
Yeah.
timing might be of the essence, but I would
Yeah.
think this is like a big role for her.
It is. This is. I mean, as good as. And again, I haven't seen X yet. I found out from
Me
Jake
neither.
today that X is out for on video on demand for like $20 rental. I'm like, you know what? I'll wait 2 weeks. I've waited this long. I can wait two
Yeah,
more weeks and watch it for $5.
yeah,
But
that's true.
but you know what I'm saying. But we're gonna do a watch party of X. First time watch parties. I've never seen it, but
Okay,
I know
cool.
this. As big as X is, or as good as X was, and everyone tells me it was anyway, from a lot, everyone I really trust, it's still not Scream.
Oh,
X,
yeah,
go on the street. You ever heard of X? You ever heard of Scream? Yeah,
yeah,
Scream. Yes, that's the yeah. If you can
I've
come
never, yeah,
back, dude,
yeah.
that's
I've
it's kind
never,
of like go ahead.
sorry, I've never seen X, but I could tell you that right off the bat. Come on, it's like five movies to one. It's like, come on, Ghostface, iconic, you know.
I mean, absolutely, it is iconic. It's an iconic of horror, icon of horror. I mean, that's where you want to be at. That's where you want to
Yeah,
spend your time.
for
Um,
sure.
what's up, Carrie? I see you there. I was wondering if you're going to make it over tonight. I said, Carrie, where are you? Anyway, I know you had to stay on for Jake. I'm sure he appreciated that.
Yeah.
But, because, yeah, that is how Carrie is. That's right. But anyway, glad you're here, Carrie. So, all right. So, Scream 6. Let me ask you this. What do you most want to see from Scream 6? What would your ideal movie be like?
Okay. I mean, so my first thing is I want to see them two ghost faces killing at the same time.
Beautiful. Love
Like
it.
that. That's how I wanted it. If Dewey had to go, that's how I wanted Dewey to go. Like he's just fighting one ghost face, and then he turns around. There's another one. It's like instead of how he went. You know,
Yes.
it would have been
Yes,
more
man.
ideal with at least. It's like, all right, I'm gonna go. I know I'm gonna go down, but I'm gonna go down swinging at least. But and then
Yeah, man.
yeah, and then three killers, one mastermind,
Yes. Yes.
and two I guess two workers, whatever you
Hmm.
want to call it.
Yeah.
And, but if we but then who would the mastermind be
Well, I've given it some thought,
if it's
and
not Stu?
oh, okay. I was going to say I've given it some thought,
Not
and
Stu. Yeah.
this fella here, I think would be the perfect mastermind to be the one
Yeah.
behind everything. Now, if it's not going to be Stu, oh man, I hate to even have to think that way. But if Stu, but you know what? Here's the thing: even if Stu's not the mastermind of 5, 6, that doesn't mean he's not orchestrating all of it still,
Yeah.
because. I mean, look at Roman and Billy. Billy was known as the mastermind of Scream. Oh, but we find out he wasn't. It
Yeah.
was Roman. So if we have, another mastermind in 6, that doesn't mean Stu is not like Roman, who is
True.
the grand scale manipulator of all this thing, right? So
True. For sure.
who would it be? It's hard to say, man, because look at the characters. We've got Christina Carpenter, unknown. We got Tara's dad. We don't know. We've got Leslie Mocker. Don't know. Those
Yeah.
are three
Yeah.
adults we've never seen before. Jen, I feel you. I'm with you 100%. In fact, and you know how these things go, Bobby. You've been on many live streams. We just kind of go with the flow, right? It's
Oh, yeah.
unscripted. We just go with where the river flows, as Collective Soul once said, which is a great song, by the way. Anyway, I have to tell you, I'm making a video soon. I think I teased it last week, and I intended it to come out this week, but it just didn't happen. But I'm gonna try for next week to get a video out calling it the clues. Was it the clues for Stu? I did a
Stu.
video
Yeah.
called the case for Stu, but the
Or
clues
clue
for
for
Stu.
Stu. Yeah.
Yes, and I'm gonna highlight all of the what I feel are the clues in Scream 5, which lead us to you can pull from and say this is showing us some maybe high level, if you will. I'm not going to say it's in your face, but
Yeah.
if you really let it sink in and read between the lines, these are some high level clues that Stu was already behind the events of Scream 5. And I think there's several lines of evidence you can draw, at least 5 I can think of right now. So anyway, guys, if you guys still want to see that video, I'm going to get that thing done because I really want to do it, and I want to be able to get this out there in the in the world, in the Scream world.
Yeah.
Scooby Dooby Stew, Where are you?
Ha ha
We
ha.
got some
Yes.
work. We got some killing to do now.
I love it. I
I love
love
that,
it.
Jackie. That's
Yeah.
great. And my favorite franchises are probably Scooby Doo and Scream. And there you go. There's Scooby Doo and Scream. Put them
Yeah.
together, and you got Scream 3, which is why I love that movie.
Yeah.
Secret passages, everything. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
So, all right, let me reset where I was at here. So we've got these characters we don't know about. Like I said, the parents, right? The
Yeah.
stepdad, well, actually not the stepdad. It's Tara's dad, and then Christina Carpenter,
Yeah.
and then Leslie Mocker, which they mention her just really quickly, right? Just that real
Yeah.
quick comment on Leslie Mocker, and they're like, "Yeah, I looked up. Who's this Vince guy?" I looked him up, and he's the dog. He's the son of Leslie Mocker,
Yeah.
Stu's sister, whatever. And I thought to myself, okay, there's going to be something here. They're going to have to come back to this. I really hope it's not a situation where it's just a throwaway kind of deal. So, what do you think about those characters? Do you think we'll see Christina or the father or Leslie in six? What do you think?
I think we see Sam and Tara's mom for sure. The father, I'm like 90-10 yes. Leslie Mocker, I'm not sure. I'm not sure on
Mm-hmm.
her because uh, if they bring her back, it might open the stew door, which would be great. But that I hate to say it, but it might be a throwaway character. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it could be, man. No,
Vince was a throwaway character, you
oh
know?
gosh, of the
Yeah, like
utmost
yeah,
throwaway character. I was to the point where it was disappointing. I mean,
yeah,
it was
yeah,
nothing, like what, 5 minutes
yeah,
at most, 3 minutes. I
yeah.
had to go back and look at it, but
He was the first kill, I believe,
he
right?
was, yeah.
Yeah, because Tara was the first attacked, but he was
Tara
the
was the
first kill.
first.
Yeah, yeah, that
What's up,
was.
Extron? What's up, man? Just want to say hello real quick. What's up, man?
Oop,
Yeah, man, that was a wasted character with Vince. I was really hoping for more out of him.
yeah. And then he looks like Billy, exactly like Billy did 25 years ago.
I
And
know.
it's like, all right, you put him with Mocker. It's like, all right, cool. But then you just kill him, and it's like, what? Why? You know?
I know,
Yeah,
completely, man. And it's so funny. I remember making a couple of videos back in like November, October, November
yeah,
time frame, talking about how wouldn't it be crazy if this guy who looks just like Billy in this Scream poster is actually Stu Macher's son, or really,
yeah,
I think I was saying Stu Macher's son or something. I'm like, how
yeah,
crazy would that be? Well, he wasn't his son, but he was his nephew. But I got close a little bit
yeah.
there. But I really did. I thought he was going to be a Loomis, though, man. I thought that was an Easter
Yeah.
egg, and it wasn't. It was interesting they
Yeah.
did
It
that.
was a shame.
Carrie says, yeah, someone dropped $100 on Jake's live stream to go an extra hour. Yeah, actually,
Wow.
I had popped in and saw right when that happened. I think, or shortly after that. That is crazy. So,
Good, well,
listen,
good for him.
if anybody out there wants to do a $100 super chat to the live stream tonight, I'll go an extra hour too. That's just because how generous I am. No, I'm kidding. But I'll throw it out there. If Jay can do it, I can do it too. So, if anyone's feeling extra generous, and you want to go a whole extra hour than we were planning, we can do that, right, Bobby?
Yeah.
We can
I'm
go.
game. I'm
Yeah,
game.
we'll do it. We'll keep it rolling.
Yeah,
That's
for
funny.
sure.
Oh goodness, I'm just kidding. I'm
Yeah.
just kidding. All right. So Genevieve says yes. Nev's acting was so good. In Scream 3 was so good. Yes, it was.
Agreed.
Gosh, I mean, I loved. I mean, I can't think of a bad time with for Nev. I mean, she's
Yeah.
always just so graceful and she can kick tail too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Scream 4 showed that one.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Didn't you just love that? Like, whenever she's over at Jill's house and Kirby,
Yeah.
they're up there talking, and then they're
Yeah.
on the phone. Olivia's getting attacked across the
Yeah.
street, and what does Sydney do? She runs out there without even like no, just reckless
Nothing.
abandon,
Yeah.
and she just runs over there to jump in there,
Yeah.
put herself. She did. She was like, she's a fighter. I mean, that
Yeah.
she is like beyond. She's had enough of it,
Yeah.
basically.
That's what, I was just about to say. She's had enough. She just doesn't care anymore.
It's true, man. I
Yeah.
love that scene. Even though she didn't have a gun with her that time, I
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
thought it was incredible. But boy, in five, she was ready.
Yeah.
She's like,
That was.
she's brought her two pistols with her, and
Yeah. I
she's
love
ready to
that.
go.
I love the line in Scream 5 when I'm Sidney Prescott. Of course, I have a gun. Well, I'm not going to say that exact line, but
Yeah, no,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
That's right. It's like, I'll give him credit for that. Good writing for the art, because that's what you would
yeah.
expect. That's what she should be saying now in her fifth movie. I'm
That
Sydney.
was her idea.
Yeah. Oh, was it
Nev's
really?
idea. Yeah,
Oh, that's
I
cool.
read up on some facts, and she asked them. She's like, I think we should put this in there, and they were like, yeah, of course, and of course, they're not going
Love
to say
it.
no to Nev, you know.
That
Yeah,
is awesome, bro. It's so good to hear that. I'm glad that came from her. That's even better.
yeah,
That makes it even more cool.
yeah.
That's so nice. Genevieve says, I forgot about Scream 3. Oh, gosh, no, let's not forget about that one. That is a. In fact, okay, this is totally unplanned, but it's a great transition, real quick. So, 2 weeks from tomorrow, which is April the 30th, and I don't even have my picture loaded up. I don't think I have it loaded in to show you, but that's okay. I can always add it later. But anyway, on April the 30th, 2 weeks from tomorrow, Lynn McCree
Oh
is
yeah.
coming back to the channel. That's right. Maureen Prescott, as you know her and love her, is coming back to the channel, not just for an interview like last time, but she's going to come and watch Scream 3 in its entirety with you, all you guys, and me. Live watch party in 2 weeks from tomorrow. Scream 3 with Maureen Prescott, guys. Oh my gosh. All I can tell you is you need to clear your calendars. I mean, put your baby dedications away, reschedule your weddings, everything you got to do. You clear the calendar because we're going to be watching Scream 3 with Lynn McCree live. Isn't that incredible?
Yeah, hey man, you're killing it with these interviews. I just wanted to say, Lynn McCree, Mike
Oh,
Vaughn, Nancy Ann. It's like
oh,
you're
thank
doing
you,
great.
buddy.
Yeah,
Appreciate it, man.
yeah,
I am really enjoying it. I'm blessed. I feel very blessed. I don't take it for
yeah.
granted. I'm really and what I love the most, Bobby. Oh, by the way, there we
Oh,
go.
there we go. Yeah,
Let me turn the banner off here.
yeah.
There it is, guys, right there. Lock that into your calendars. Scream 3 live watch party. It's already on my channel. So if you go to the front page of my channel right now and look at upcoming streams, you'll see it. It's already there. Just click on it, smash that like up button if you would, please, and hit set reminder. And it will give you a reminder on the 30th, so you don't have to worry about trying to remember it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I had to get that picture up. But, man, thank you so much. And Bobby, the thing that is blowing my mind the most, I think, is not only is having them agree to come on the channel, but what is amazing is when I speak to them afterwards, and they're so open to returning,
Yeah,
right?
it's
They're
awesome.
like they're so, and they've said such kind, encouraging things
Yeah,
that I wasn't expecting,
yeah.
and the fact that they're willing to come back and hang out again. And so in the course of 3 weeks, you want to hear something? The next 4 Saturdays, I got something going on. But a week from
Awesome.
Saturday, the 30th, right? Oh, what's up, Killjoy Jake? Hey there, my man. Welcome. Good to see
Hey,
you. Oh, look at Jake teasing it. Get it up, man. We've been
love
getting
it.
it up since we got this puppy started. There it is. Get it up. That's right, Jake. I love it, man. Good to see you, Jake. Thanks for popping in, my brother. So anyway, what's so great about this is, Bobby, in the next 3 weeks, tomorrow night's the hatchet party, but then
Yeah,
starting with the 30th, we'll start there. Okay, Lynn McCree, Scream 3 watch party. The next Saturday, Leanne Kerr is coming back,
yeah,
writer director of Student Body, for a live watch party of Student Body. And then the Saturday after that, this is three consecutive. Nancy Ann Ritter from The
yeah.
Girl in the Bathroom is
Yep.
coming back. We're
Iconic.
watching Scream 5 live watch party
Yeah,
with
she
Nancy Ann
hasn't seen
Ritter.
it yet, right?
First time watch for her. First time.
Nice,
So that's a
nice.
3 week. How's that for 3 Saturdays in a row? We're gonna have a
That sounds,
blast.
yeah, that sounds awesome.
And
I
tomorrow
think,
night with the Hatchet. So really, it's four
yeah,
nights in a row, 4 Saturdays. But
yeah,
anyway,
hey,
okay. Enough about that. Enough about that. I just had to mention that. I mean,
hey,
for
yeah,
real,
go for
it's
it. Plug
exciting
away.
stuff. Oh no, oh man, it's so awesome,
Yeah,
and it blows my mind. It really does. I'm humbled by it, and I'm humbled by all of you guys that are here. And Jay Jay says I don't have $100 right now, but I'll gladly share my nuggets with y'all. There you go.
that goes a far way.
Absolutely. You just, pass it around.
Yeah,
Jake, dude, your eyes have got to be, bro. We had Lethal Collective, and then you go do your 3-hour marathon live stream, and now you're here on mine. This is great. This is great. So I don't know how you're staying awake
dedication.
though. My
Yeah,
gosh, man, it's craziness. Okay,
dedication.
all right. Now, Jay, thank you, Jay. That's very nice of you to say. It's one thing to get good guests. However, when they offer to come back, it shows what a great host you are. Oh, thank
He's
you,
right.
buddy.
Yeah, for
That
sure.
appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've gone almost an hour on Scream 6, and I
Really?
think that
Wow.
it goes by really quick. I know.
Yeah. Wow.
So, how about for our next hour, our second hour? Uh, oh, sorry, I'm reading the chat. Jen, Jen. We're not going there. We're not. I'm not going there tonight. Um, so, anyways.
Not touching that
Let's
one.
transition. All right, let's transition, Bobby. How about this?
Yeah.
Let's move from Scream 6, which is some good talk. That was great. I loved it. Good
Yeah.
stuff. I'm glad to hear your thoughts on all this.
Yeah.
But now
Awesome.
let's transition to really what the show's about tonight. What you
Yeah.
requested, when I asked you what would you like to talk about, and this was the one thing that you really wanted to spend some time on.
Yeah.
So everybody, all you guys here in the chat, hopefully you've all seen Scream the TV series. All right, it was 2015, 2016. Well, and there is a third season, but
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah.
I mean, I figure we'll probably spend most of the time on the first two. Is my guess,
Yeah. Oh
right?
yeah.
Yeah,
For sure. I'll get
I
into
figure.
season three a little. Not much, but a little.
Okay, fair enough. So, Scream the TV series. So, Bobby, tell me first of all, what do you think about overall now? Before we get into specifics, can't even talk. Let's talk about just the overall. What did you like so much about it? What was it that got you in?
So I like the week by week. I don't know why. It just, but like they slowly set it up, and you got time more character development for sure out of the
Big time.
people. Yeah,
Yes.
because it's what 10 weeks, 12 weeks, whatever it
Like
was,
10
instead
weeks
of two
compared to
hours.
2 hours. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
so it's like you can really build these people up, and like for example, Brooke in the first, I didn't really care for her at first, but by the end of the second season, she was one of my favorite characters. You
Same
know,
here.
I
Yes.
was like, it was like, at first I was like, I loved Kieran. Yeah, yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Um, what else? I mean, the kills. Oh, some of the kills. We'll get into that too.
Well, yeah, man.
Ooh, some of the kills were for TV to get what they got away with. I don't know how they did it, but you know, good for them.
Good for them. I mean, look the
Yeah,
thumbnail for this
yeah.
video.
Oh, the
That's
thumbnail.
we'll talk about that one. Oh my gosh,
Oh,
I couldn't believe I was
yeah,
watching it on TV. I was like, this isn't a movie. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
I watched it live, and I'm like, what just happened? I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm looking around. I'm like, it's like 10 o'clock at night too. I'm like, what just happened?
Oh
It was
man,
crazy, but
seriously.
yeah. What else is there? Like,
Like,
I mean, I liked Emma. Noah was really good.
hmm
The Brandon James storyline intrigued me because it's like, is he dead? Is he not dead? Spoilers, by the way.
yes, because we have a killer here that even though it's Scream the TV series, we don't have Ghostface.
Yeah,
We have a whole different character, Brandon James, a
yeah,
different mask, and we still have the black, the robe and all that stuff, but we have a new mask, new killer, and we
yeah.
don't have Roger L. Jackson. We have
And
a
yeah,
new voice.
yeah, and I heard this. I can't confirm it. I never read it officially anywhere, but they couldn't get the rights to Ghostface.
I
That was the
do,
issue,
I think that
I
is
believe.
correct. Yes, I
Yeah,
think you're right.
and I mean, I was gonna save my hot take for later on, but I guess I'll just get into it now that we're talking about it. I
Yeah.
think the I think the Brandon James mask is more creepy than the Ghostface. I might get torn apart in the comments, but I just look. I mean, it's just like, I mean, Ghostface. I just think Brandon James is more creepy. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's definitely got the creep factor,
yeah,
and I guess again it was different. It was
yeah.
something that was it's very striking. I mean, you take a look there at the mask. I mean, it is
Oh
very
yeah,
creepy, and in the way it has like the snap at the top
yeah,
which is just
Yeah,
adds another. I don't know why, but that just is a little. It's creepy to
yeah.
me too, man. Just that.
Because what? Yeah, because when they unveiled or revealed Piper, she like had to unsnap it, and I'm like, wow, okay. Because usually they just go
Yes.
whoop, and then
Yeah.
yeah,
Which,
and
by the
then
way, I'm glad you mentioned that. So everyone who's watching, just so you know, this is a spoiler
yes,
discussion. The show
sorry,
is what 5, 6, 7,
yeah,
7, 6, 7 years old. So
yeah,
it's on, and you can stream it right now. I think like on Netflix or Shutter or one of them
yeah.
has. Paramount Plus may even have it. I don't even know. Check
I
it.
don't,
Just
yeah.
you'll find it. It's out there.
It's on Netflix for sure. I can confirm that. I'm not sure if they made it if it made it to Paramount yet.
And that could be. And
Mm,
the Rain Poncho. That's right. That's right, Father Death. What's up, Father Death? Been chatting with you a little bit on Instagram. What's happening,
Father
man?
Death.
Yeah, the Rain Poncho. It was cool. It was different. Yeah, it
Yeah,
is. And so, yeah, man. So you can watch it, but this is a spoiler discussion. We're not going to hold anything back. You're going to
I'm
hear
good with it. Yeah,
all the nitty gritty, as they say.
yeah, yeah.
So
Cool.
yeah. So go
Yeah.
ahead, man. So let's
Yeah.
talk more about it. So like,
Yeah.
um, that so kind of overall, and then of course, remember, why don't we do this? Why don't we start at the beginning, season one?
Yeah,
All right,
for sure.
season one and episode one, and I have to say this because I'd be remiss if I didn't say it. Episode one was originally contracted to be directed by Wes Craven himself.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
was signed on. It was a done deal. And I remember I was reading when they made the announcement that Wes Craven will be directing the season opener.
Yeah.
I was through the roof, man. I said, "Oh my gosh, Wes Craven coming back to doing some TV work, which he'd done in the past, Twilight Zone, other things." But here he is doing the pilot, and that was it. That was announced like early in the year of 2015, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
And then they get ready to start filming the movie or the show, and we get an announcement that it's going to be no longer going to be directed by Wes. He has other contractual, not contractual, but projects or something else that are
Yeah.
prohibiting him from, because he didn't want to announce his sickness to anyone, his
Yeah. Of
illness,
course. Of
and
course.
so he was replaced. Obviously, and
Yeah.
of course it was only after he passed away that
Yeah.
we found out that it was because he was battling brain cancer that he had to bow out. But
Yeah.
can you imagine though? And it was still really done well. I mean, the whole season, both two seasons were done well. But the pilot, that first episode, it really had a lot of feel to it, like a
Yeah.
Scream
For
movie.
sure.
It
Yeah.
really did. That opening kill was really great. Good night,
Yeah.
Shay. See, you have to head out. Good night. Thanks for
Good night.
stopping in. Appreciate you as always. So that I just often think to myself, I just wish we could have seen directed by Wes Craven. Ah, dang it! But it
Yeah.
was.
It
It
would.
just
Well, what could have been? You
what
know.
could have been. However,
Yeah.
I will say this, and then I want to get your thoughts on it. We do know that he had creative input. The writers
Yeah.
said that Wes did give them input on season one, the content, and so his DNA, if you will, is on season one.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
It's
in
true.
there.
Yeah.
Okay, so Bobby, let's talk about episode one.
Yeah.
All right, tell
Okay.
me what
Yeah.
kind of tone did you think we got when this thing started with
It got.
Audrey and the video
Yeah.
clip?
Okay. Yeah. That threw me off a little because I was like, okay, this is how we're gonna get started. And then to jump a little ahead, we had Bella Thorne. She was the biggest name of
Yes,
the cast, and
yes,
She was the Drew Barrymore. She signed on, and everyone was like, "Oh, she's gonna be the star." Done
done
real quick.
real quick. Yep, love
It
that.
was like, yeah, it was like, oh man. And then I believe she wasn't the first kill though, if I remember correctly. There was somebody else because
Ooh,
she was in the hot tub or the
she
pool,
was.
and then the head came in and
Oh,
she screamed.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's actually the
that.
first kill. That whoever that
Yeah,
poor soul was, that guy,
yeah.
the
I think his
boyfriend.
name was. I don't remember what his name was. I think it was like Tyler or something maybe.
It could have
But
been.
yeah, but it was like I remember watching. I'm like, okay, because I didn't know what to expect from the TV show. I was still like,
Yeah.
okay, but it was also it was 4 years, I believe, after Scream 4, and I was like, we may never get another Scream movie again, so this might be, it for a while or for good. This might be it. So I
Yeah.
really wanted to enjoy it, and I did, thankfully.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Bella Thorne.
Yeah.
It it started a little slow for me. I'm gonna be
Okay.
honest. It was the high school drama stuff. And I was like, okay, give it time. But then after like episode 3 or 4, it picked up when the killing started happening. There was no time for drama
Mm,
there. So
no.
and
And
then yeah,
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
and, and then them trying to find out because they thought it was the kid that had got his head chopped off. They thought he was doing the killings because he was missing, and they were trying to find him.
Hmm.
But yeah, then it was crazy. You had to really keep up with it at some points to understand, and it was like some of it was like how it all comes together. It's like, oh, this is awesome.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
and
No,
then
it was the opening. It felt to me, it felt very much like I was in the Scream universe, and that
yeah,
even at the point where, and it kind of mirrored some of the Casey Becker with the pool. Now she
yeah,
wasn't actually in it, but you had
yeah,
the fog rolling in. You
yeah.
had the pool in the back. It was like,
The
oh, this is
windows, yeah,
the windows. Yeah, it was
yeah,
very much an homage to
yeah.
Casey Becker. And of course, instead of Stephen Orff having been gutted, it was
Yeah.
literally a head in a hot tub. And it
Yeah,
was
the
like a
head comes
basketball. I was
flying
like, boom.
in.
I
Yeah,
know. I
that
was like,
was.
whoa.
I was watching it because I watched all the episodes live before season 3, and I'm like, huh? I'm like, okay, I'm on board. A
Yeah.
little disturbing, but I'm on board.
A bit disturbing, but yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's
But
great.
like but to transition, some of the kills they got away with on MTV, I'm like, how do you get away with that? Like,
I know, for real. I know. I
um,
was surprised.
yeah. I got one of them here. Well, we might as well jump into it.
Yeah, let's go. Let's do it.
The thumbnail for this video, Will or
Oh, Will.
oh,
Yes.
he wasn't the best of people, but I mean, oh,
Yeah.
brutal,
No one deserves
brutal
that,
murder.
man. I mean,
Yeah,
I remember that scene, man, so
yeah,
vividly because she was going there with her little basket of candies or what I can't remember
yep,
what it was she had, it right,
yeah. They
and
were gonna have like date night or
like
something,
date night at the farm
Yeah,
out in the middle of
yeah,
and sitting down on the grass, the whole
yeah,
thing. And so I just remember Emma being so happy, like it was going to be a good thing. And
yeah,
then she walks over there and of course she gets the phone call.
yeah.
And
The
here
dread
comes
phone call.
Mike Vaughn, the amazing Mike Vaughn, who I had on the channel a month ago,
Yeah,
was the voice of Brandon James, great guy, and man, he's talking to her, and I'm like, oh crud. And then what do we see when she comes to the barn or whatever? There it is. There he is. There's
yeah.
Will,
And he's
and he's in
mouth
that
tape.
chair. He's taped
Yep.
up again, paying homage to a little bit of Stephen Orff there, right? Taped up in the chair, just like we saw in Scream One,
Yeah,
and I don't know what that contraction is
yeah.
behind him. I don't know what it's
It was
called. I'm
crazy.
not a farmer, okay, guys. That's not
Neither
my.
am I.
I'm
Yeah,
not. But I will tell you this: whatever that thing was, I would never want to see anyone have to go this way. That machine just kept coming up behind him, and then we see that. I couldn't believe we saw all the blood and
yeah.
gook
All over. Yeah,
throw it on Emma.
yeah,
Just I'm
yeah,
like, oh, and of course she's standing there with her mouth open. I'm like,
yeah.
why is your mouth
Yeah,
open? Close your mouth. I know you're in shock. Okay, I
yeah.
I understand, but I'm like,
Ooh,
just everywhere, and it was shocking. It
yeah.
was shocking.
And then yeah, she's yeah.
Oh yeah, I was trying to see. They're talking about Zoe when Zoe was killed. We're gonna get to Zoe.
I'll
We'll get there.
I'll get into her. She's on the list, but how she got blood all over her and she walks by.
Oh man,
We'll call
yes,
it farmer's equipment. Yeah,
yes,
I
we
don't know the
will.
name of it.
The farmer's equipment ended Will's life in a
Yeah,
very
this is
grotesque manner.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then she has all the blood on her. She's just walking, and his mom comes up, and she just looks at Emma like, "What happened?" And Emma just keeps walking, and then the mother realizes what happened.
Oh
It's like, oh,
yeah,
it's like, oh
yeah.
boy,
This is not. Yeah, this is not good. This is
yeah. And then it was
absolutely
like, yeah,
horrible.
yeah. And then I'm kind of jumping around with some of the kills, but
That's all right. Let's
the
talk about favorite kills. Let's go.
the sheriff from season 1, I believe it's Kieran's father
His father, right?
or his
Or was
stepfather, one of the two.
maybe? Yeah, 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 yeah.
And
Yes.
he's like up against the tree. He's like on his like his legs and
Oh,
all that. Yeah,
oh,
and she's
yes.
yeah, Maggie, Emma's mom, is like, all
Hmm.
right, we're gonna get you help. She like moves him
Yes.
a little, then everything falls out. It was like, oh, it was like,
I
oh,
that is dude,
yeah,
I completely forgot about that scene right now
yeah,
because everything was basically the contraption, the ropes or whatever it was
yeah,
that it was
yeah.
it was literally holding his body in
It was keeping
place.
him together. It's like, and
Yes.
I go back to my original thoughts. Like, how do you get away with this on TV?
I
Like,
don't know. I don't know how they got away with that. Even
yeah,
on cable, it's not
on
it's like
MTV of all things. It's like,
yeah, it's not HBO or something where they're
yeah,
showing movies and stuff.
yeah. It's like,
Man, that was
oh,
seeing him fall apart was creative though,
yeah,
man. What's some creative kills, man?
yeah. And
Something
then
different.
to jump backwards, I just thought about this one. Audrey's girlfriend. I can't remember her name off the top of my head. I believe it was Rachel.
Oh man, my
But
mind is
how
blanking on her.
the killer attacked her and pushed her over the ledge, and she got hung, and it was like, oh,
Oh
and it was like they everyone thought it was a suicide, but everyone was like, nah,
yeah,
something's not right here.
no.
Yeah,
Especially with like other people dying all around you, it's like, man,
yeah,
there's got to be,
yeah,
and this is
yeah,
Lakewood. It's
something.
got to figure something's wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, and I love the name Lakewood too. It's just like a, it's kind of like Woodsboro, like you kind of, and then
Hmm.
isn't Lakewood Friday the 13th? Isn't that the
That's
Camp
Crystal
Lakewood
Lake.
or
Crystal
Crystal
Lake.
Lake? I think that's what.
Yeah.
Yeah, Crystal Lake. Yeah. So and then what do I have next? J- Jake and we'll stick to season one.
Yeah,
Um.
it was Rachel. Thank you guys. Yeah, Bob and Jen said yeah, it was
Oh, I
Rachel.
did get it.
Yeah,
Sweet.
you got it.
Yeah.
Yep. It sounded right.
Yeah. I was like, I think it's Rachel, but um. Well, and then I'll give credit to this man, even though he had some choice words for me on your interview. Mike Vaughn, of course,
Oh
the
yeah.
voice. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
He had some choice words for me last time, but we won't get into that. I don't know if you remember. I don't know if you remember that.
I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to rack my
I'll,
brain.
we'll talk about it after.
Okay, we'll talk
Yeah,
about it after. Let's do
but
that. Let's do that.
just his voice was just like so subtle but so creepy. It was like the first time he called, he's acting as like this confused old man, and then he's like, all of a sudden he turns it on. And he's like, "Did you just lock me out, or did you just lock me in?" And it's like, oh,
Yeah. Oh shoot.
yeah. And he just turned it on, and it's like, oh, okay. And it's like I said, it's it's not Roger Jackson, but it's like
Yeah.
it's still pretty good.
It's still good. I
It's a different
agree.
approach, but and I liked his story on how he did it. He just kind of sent it out, and he's like, "I'm probably not going to get this," and they loved him. So it's
Yeah.
like,
Hey man, if it's
yeah,
meant to be, I've always
yeah,
believe it's going to
and
happen. And
he did great with it. So
I just
some of
want
the
to say bye to
kills.
Elaine. Bye, Elaine. You take
Oh,
care.
bye, Elaine. Yeah,
Thanks for being here.
awesome. Yeah, we can jump to. We're kind of jumping all over the place, but
That's all right.
Jake in season two. I don't know if you remember that
Oh,
one.
oh yes. Refresh all of our memories in the chat. Refresh all of
So
our memories.
he
Oh,
was one of
Jake.
the Lakewood Six to make it on.
Yep.
He didn't make it much further, but
No,
they kept him alive, or not kept him alive, but the killer had his phone acting as Jake for like
yes,
2 to 3 days,
that's right.
and then it was like, oh, and then I think they were at a pageant or something. And then Brooke's standing there, and then all of a sudden the body comes falling down, and she looks, and it's like, oh no.
That was so messed up, bro.
Yeah,
The
it's
body
like,
falling down. It was,
yeah,
oh,
it's like, and she just looks, and she's like, oh no, because they were at a party, and Jake, quote unquote, sent them some tequila or something, and it was laced,
hmm,
obviously. And then Emma was seeing the killer, and then her father came, which we'll get into that.
yeah, man.
Her father was a bit of a shady character, but
Yes, the Carrie Lack reveal. That's right, Jackie. That's
yeah,
the
that
one.
I
Yep.
remember that. It's like I know the show only went 2 seasons, but it's like, well, this version of the show only went 2 seasons.
This version. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we'll get into season three later briefly, but it was like so much happened. It was like,
It really
and
did,
then
man.
yeah, I mean, it had its downfalls, sure, but like for 2 seasons for a killer show, I mean, I think
Yeah,
it did pretty good, you know?
it was good.
And
Hey, Becky, welcome. Glad you're here.
Yeah,
We're talking about Scream the TV series, so make yourself at home. And Bobby's sharing his some of
mm,
his favorite kills, favorite moments of the show. We're having a good
yeah,
time going down memory lane tonight. This is good
yeah.
stuff.
And then yeah, the mask. I'll go back to that. I said that earlier. It was just so creepy. It was just so
Yeah.
creepy. I loved it. And the other thing I loved about the show, they kind of did their own thing. Like they, you know, and I respect it. At the same time, it's like, did we get Ghostface? No, but it's like this was
Hmm.
still a pretty good story, and unfortunately, I don't think it's ever gonna get wrapped up. Which,
No, man,
yeah,
I don't either. I've kind of given up on that. I think the
yeah, I'm
time has
starting to.
passed, and
It's
it's just,
been what we're 6 years now. We're pushing,
yeah,
give or
basically.
take, and it's
Yeah,
like,
man.
yeah, I'm like, I just wish, like, even if season three gave us an answer, it would have been like, all right, at least I got something. But there's nothing,
No.
and it's like, and I read what season three was gonna be, and I'm kind of happy it didn't happen. That would have been
I
I,
saw that, man. I'm
yeah.
like, this was, yeah, and I wonder, and in fact, Nate's asking the question here in the chat, are they making a new series? So
I hope,
there's been discussion,
yeah,
rumors. Let's leave it at that. There's been rumors that
yeah,
they are going to possibly make a new show, but it will not be Lakewood. It will be
yeah. It will
connected
not be
to
Lakewood.
this. It will not. It'll be. A rumor is it would be connected to the current film universe. So like the
Which,
new movies we're in now with the Sam and Tara,
yeah,
somehow there would be connective into the movie universe because Paramount wants to potentially bridge them together,
which
make
is
more
cool.
money, bridge
Yeah,
them together at the same time. Yeah, and so you have the TV series running, then you got these new
yeah,
movies coming out. So the hype from the
yeah,
TV series feeds
yeah,
into the movie sales.
yeah.
So I'm think about it as a business. You're marketing, you're setting it up, it all feeds into each other for exposure. So what do you think, Bobby? And we're going to come back to we're not done with the early season at all. But while we're
Gotcha.
here, what do you think about a new season? Is that something you would want to see?
Part of me just wants Lakewood to come back, but if I have to bury that down, and I'm all for a TV show. I mean, because
Hmm.
you have 2 to 3, well, mostly you have 2 to 3 years between every movie, and you could bridge, that keeps the excitement for the
Yeah.
movies for sure. And if it's anything like Lakewood, I mean,
Oh
I'm
man.
all for it. Just yeah,
Well,
it
here's
was
the thing too. If they do a new series that is connected in with the movies,
yeah,
it's going to be Ghostface.
yeah,
It's not. It's going to
which
be
is cool.
actually,
I
which is
respect that.
cool.
Yeah,
Yep.
I mean yeah, the Brandon James thing was the downfall for sure. But if you can't get the rights, what are you supposed to do?
Oh yeah. I mean, they
Like
didn't have a
yeah,
choice. It was that or
yeah,
nothing. And like,
exactly.
no, we're going to go. And again, I enjoyed something. It was cool. It was
Yeah,
something a little bit different. And you got
yeah,
to hear a new voice.
yeah,
Mike Vaughn owned that voice really
yeah,
well. But if they're going to make a new one with it's connected with the show or with the movie universe, it has
yeah,
to be Ghostface.
yeah,
It's got
for
to be
sure.
Roger L. Jackson.
Yeah.
They're going to have to do that.
Oh yeah,
Once Scream the season 3,
he was
they
on there.
got Ghostface and Roger L. Jackson, but unfortunately, a lot of other things about that season didn't work for me.
That was the
You
only
know,
bright spot for me.
yeah, it was kind of yeah. I mean, I will say this though: the reveal in season 3. Spoiler alert, everybody! I'm going to
Yeah,
tell the ending here. The final reveal of 3, when
yeah.
it's Becky's revealed,
Or
I
wait,
thought was isn't it
what's her
Becky?
name?
Isn't it? I may be
Her,
I may be saying the wrong name. Oh my gosh! In
uh,
the chat, guys, help me out. And you know what I'm
yeah.
talking about.
I'm
It's the
season three. I
gothic
don't know.
girl. The
Yeah,
gothic girl. It's Becky, I believe,
Beth.
or
Beth?
Beth. It's
No.
Beth.
Is
Thank
it Beth?
you. Yeah, it's
Oh,
Beth.
okay.
It's Beth.
I
I'm
got it.
pretty sure it's Beth.
I
Yeah,
know
that's it,
the
Jackie.
main
Yep.
guy. Yeah. Beth. Yeah.
Yeah, no, no. It was the
Thanks, Jackie.
twist at the end with Beth. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was Beth.
Because I
That
think.
part I
Yeah.
liked a lot. I
Yeah.
will
Because
admit.
didn't she shoot him?
I
I
think
believe.
so. And because you
And
think it's over.
yeah, you hear that because yeah, the one his half brother got revealed or Marcus.
Hmm.
I'm
Right.
trying. I know their names. I can't remember which one was which. Marcus and Dion.
Yeah, Dion. Yeah.
Yeah, and you hear a gunshot, and he looks at his body, and he's bleeding
Hmm.
out, and he looks at the one girl. I think her name is Liv, and she just looks like all confused. And then you see the girl, Beth, with the
Beth.
gun. Yeah, and she's like, "Well, sorry," and it was like, "Oh." okay. It's like, and she was so obvious too. But then again, this is Scream we're talking about. So
Exactly.
yeah,
Yes.
I knew it was her when I
Hmm.
watched it, but I didn't guess the half brother. I wouldn't have been able to
Hmm.
figure that one out.
Yep.
Smoke some
And look
cigarette.
at Jackie's on top of it. Jump through the
Yeah,
glass. That's right. After little doctor. That's
yeah,
right. Bingo.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. Scream 3. It was or Scream season 3. It was like I feel like I would have liked it more if we got a legit answer to the Lakewood. Yeah, I feel
Wrap it
like it
up.
would have been
Yeah.
respected more. But the fact that we got that and we got nothing out of Lakewood, it was like, And I even tried to go back and watch it again, and I'm just like, I can't.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a Jim was just saying the same thing. So I couldn't watch three. I watched the first episode and turned it off.
yeah,
Yeah, it was a different, totally stark, different vibe
yeah.
from the first two seasons.
I mean, there was Ghostface, like I said,
Yeah.
Raphael Jackson, but
Yep.
it was like there was one scene I can't remember who the characters were, but he Ghostface tries to attack one of the girls, and she runs like 10 feet, and then all of a sudden he's gone, and it's like that's not Ghostface. He doesn't try and attack once and then leave, you know? It's like,
Hmm. Hmm.
yeah, I was just wasn't a fan, unfortunately.
Jackie says I find them very rewatchable. Hey, that's great, Jackie. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
hey,
Listen, nothing wrong with that at all. In fact,
yeah,
I have said and I haven't said it tonight, but I've said before that I am tempted to go back and give three another try because I only
yeah.
watched it the first time it aired, and remember they aired them like
Mm.
6 episodes
Over
with
like 2 nights.
two
Yeah,
nights, three and
yeah. I
three, I think it
watched
was.
I watched
Yeah,
all of it because
me too.
I thought I was gonna get my answer, but unfortunately I didn't.
Yeah, no, and that was the big.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, if they would have just started off like showing who killed Kieran
yeah,
in the jail, if they would have showed who that
yeah.
was,
Right.
and then they would have said, 5 years later, and then we start this
Yeah.
whole new thing.
Uh, at least give me an
Perfect.
answer. Yeah, at least give
Something.
me an answer. And it's like, hey,
Yep.
season 3 didn't.
Anything to scream. Yeah, right. Place, even though he's the goat. Yeah, I
Yeah, I
understand,
feel
Brett.
you.
I know what you're talking
Yeah.
about. Yeah, I do.
I
I
mean,
do understand.
it is still Scream at the end of the day, you know.
It
So
is still Scream, and there's
yeah,
still the Scream elements there. It's
yeah,
just
oh yeah,
different.
for sure. And it's like, yeah, they tried, but it was just like, and then of course nothing came of it. Love Kiki
Kiki
Palmer though. Oh yeah,
Palmer,
she was
yeah,
in it. Yeah,
she's great. Gotta love Kiki Palmer. Yeah,
yeah,
she's good.
yeah,
Um, and I liked Beth before she was revealed as Ghostface. Yeah, Beth I thought was a cool character.
she was
She
funny.
was she was probably my favorite of the season
Yeah,
that I can remember.
yeah,
Now again, I only saw
yeah,
it when it's been
yeah.
a long time. So
I tried to go back and watch it. I think I watched it in December, just season 3. I didn't watch 1, 2, and 3. I
okay,
just watched season 3, and I was
hmm
like, maybe I was a little harsh, but I just still couldn't. I finished
still
it,
couldn't it.
but
Okay,
I was still like, no, this isn't right.
not doing it for you. Yeah, that's all
Yeah, no.
right. I understand. Genevieve says I watched season three all the way through and didn't realize it was Roger. Oh no! Well, now you know it is. So when you think
Yeah,
back on it, that you can
yeah,
appreciate his work.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, and
Oh
then yeah,
man.
yeah.
So tell me again now. I know that you've been working on some of your favorite pros. Or do
Oh,
you have some
okay.
more pros of the series that you'd like to
Let's
share tonight? I'd love to
see.
hear them.
Okay. Well, spoiler alert. Kieran is the second killer. He went to prison at the end of it. First time ever in Scream that a killer has gone to prison. At first I was like, but then the more I thought about it, I'm like, that's awesome. I thought that was really well done, and I might be in the minority there,
No,
but
it is different
yeah,
to actually be caught. I mean,
yeah,
unless depending on your view of what happened to Stu, because so either Stu was captured and then he went to mental facility or whatever that could have happened, or if his death was faked, which is what I'm is my number one theory, is
same,
that
Yeah.
his death was faked. Therefore, he was assumed dead by everyone,
yeah,
which is it answers all the questions on why he's never
yeah,
talked about. And anyway, but if that's the case, that he was truly faked, his death was faked, then
yeah,
you're right. No one has gone to prison
yeah,
except Kieran.
yeah, yeah, this is true. And yeah, Stu's on an island somewhere for sure.
right?
He's out there somewhere. But yeah,
He's out there somewhere. I hear you.
what else? Oh, this is early on in the season. She doesn't make it many episodes, but Riley Mara, I don't know if you remember her.
Oh, Riley.
Emma's, yeah, she died at the police station, like on the roof.
Yes, I
Yeah,
do remember her. I
that
was like, "Don't go up
obviously,
there. Don't do that."
yeah,
Oh my, I
yeah,
remember screaming at the television.
yeah,
Like, "No."
yeah. And then
I
that was a nod to Tatum Riley, so I thought that was kind of cool. They named her
um
Riley
oh,
Mara Tatum Riley.
yeah,
Yeah,
Tatum Riley. Yes,
that was
yes.
cool. One of the prisons, one of the killers. Mask was creepy. Jake will. Oh, well, obviously Emma Brooke and Noah. I said that before.
Hmm.
Great characters. And
Oh, so good.
Piper. I think Piper, she's up there for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought she was a great killer, and I read she didn't know she was the killer until like halfway through the season. They told her, and she was like, "Oh, okay." And it was kind of copied Scream 3 in a way, but I still think they did good with it. I loved Riley. It crushed my heart. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They should have kept her around. Love Piper. Yeah, I do too. I think Piper was the right way to go. Now it was the female version of Roman Bridger, but
Hmm.
just like she was just brutal. But the mother was alive, so that was like what changed it for me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
man.
like she was trying to kill both of them for
Hmm.
her father, Brandon James, which
Yeah.
oh, and then Branson, Seth Branson, the teacher,
Oh, yeah. The
the
teacher.
the ultimate red herring, and it's
Big
like
time, dude.
the second to last episode of season one, they show the prison. The cops are dead. They're bleeding out, and they're saying over the loudspeaker, they're like, Seth Branson has escaped. He's considered to be armed and dangerous. And in the moment, I'm like, it can't be him. But then I'm like, Billy Loomis was pointed at the whole time, and it was Billy Loomis. So I'm
Absolutely.
like, could this be Seth Branson? And I was like, I'm all for it. And then obviously it turned out he was just the fall guy, which was a good one.
It was good.
And
It was very good.
yeah, that's all I
Uh,
got for my pros for the most part.
well, all right. Before we jump further, let's see. Brett had a comment here. Said I met Roger at the Comic Con here in Salt Lake City when season one was on. He said he was really disappointed that they didn't call him for it. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
really?
they didn't
Wow.
contact him for the season to do the voicemail. I guess they decided that that voice is so
Yeah,
is so iconic with Ghostface that they
yeah,
had to get something new for a new. I'm guessing. I mean, this is me guessing, Brett. I'm
yeah.
sure I don't know, but I'm assuming that's why they went that direction, like new mask and new voice. And
Mm.
we go Brandon James.
Uh-oh. What happened? Uh-oh.
It's there we go. Yeah,
You back? There we
yeah,
go.
yeah, there we go. Yeah. So Ghostface is never anybody. Ghostface is just Ghostface. It's somebody
Mm,
new. This TV show went a different direction and said, "Hey, we're going to identify our antagonist, our villain.
mm.
It's going to be Brandon James, or is he a villain? That's another question. But for the sake of argument,
Yeah,
for right now,
yeah,
right? I know
yeah.
we're going to call him Brandon James, and we're going to give, we're going to give him his own voice. So I thought it was interesting because in this case, it was always about Brandon James versus Ghostface in the movies, where it could be literally anybody,
Anyway, yeah,
anyone. You have no idea. So
yeah,
that was an interesting thing, and so I think that's probably why they didn't contact him.
yeah.
Brett goes on to say he thinks that maybe they couldn't afford him. I mean, that's possible too.
That's definitely possible. I
Yeah,
could I could see that for
yeah,
sure.
absolutely. I could see that as well.
Yeah,
Rick Up says one and two are amazing. Yeah, they're really good. They're fun.
yeah.
They're really fun, and I'm going to be revisiting all of them again very very
Yeah.
soon. I just for the fun, just for the fun of it.
I think there's like
Um,
24 total episodes or something
I
in
think
the two.
24. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Something
All
like that.
right. So we've talked about some of your favorite moments, your favorite
Yeah,
things about the episode, this
yeah.
series. So what would you say now? Maybe were some things that you weren't a fan of or would have done differently.
Okay, so I wasn't a big fan of Audrey being friends with Piper. It was kind of just weird, and it was
Okay.
like, why? Audrey knew Piper was Emma's half sister.
Yeah.
So like, why bring her to Lakewood? I know there's a complicated relationship with Emma and Audrey in the beginning, but it's like,
Hmm.
how do they know each other? I don't think that was ever. I could be wrong on that. I don't think it was
Yeah.
ever brought up how they met
I
and
don't think
like
so.
why. Now I could be wrong. If somebody in the comments says it, prove me wrong. For sure.
About to binge the show after this stream.
Oh,
Awesome,
that's
Nate. You do
a
it,
heck of a
man.
binge. Yeah, do
Do
it.
it. That's do it. I think you're gonna like the first two seasons, especially.
For sure. Yeah, but it was just kind of weird. Like I get Audrey was mad at Emma, but it's like, why go to that level? That was just weird to me. What else?
Yeah. Carrie
Oh,
says I think Audrey was getting back at Emma. So what she was thinking. Yeah.
yeah, but it was like I feel like there's other ways to get back. I think
Audrey just found her
Audrey just
somehow.
found some. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
There's no
and that's the other
concrete.
thing too, Carrie. I was going to bring this up, Carrie, because remember the letters? Because remember the last
Oh,
episode, and remember
yeah.
the ending. Yeah,
Wow.
it's the ending
Yeah,
of the very last episode, and you think the show's over, and you
yeah,
see Audrey out there starting a
yeah,
fire, right? Like a little
yeah.
fire, like a barbecue
Now,
pit thing,
yeah,
and she's got the letters. And that's how they ended it on this
yeah,
cliffhanger. It's like, oh
yeah,
my gosh, Audrey is the second killer. I'm
yeah.
like, it's gonna be her. So this huge red herring
And
at that
yeah,
point.
it turned out it never was, which it was like a little weird. But
Yes.
then, then okay, this was like midway through the first season, if I remember correctly. They broke into pretty much like the killer's hideout or whatever, and they found a
Hmm.
mask,
Yeah.
and Audrey put it on, and then
Hmm.
later on she's in the police station, and they were like, "Well, why was your DNA on the mask?"
Yep.
And then it just like went away. It was like, wait, I guess they could figure out she wasn't the killer, but like they didn't know at the time, you know. So it was just like,
Hmm.
why just drop it? I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
found.
Yeah, especially in this day and age. I mean, do we need to go back to the people versus OJ? We know
Yeah,
about DNA.
yeah,
Okay.
right. It's like,
I mean, DNA is a big thing.
mm,
It's um, Jackie says, wasn't Piper doing a documentary of Brandon James? And that's why they initially started to talk. It was
hmm.
a little clunky the way that, yeah, it was clunky, Jackie. I
Yeah,
agree. It was,
yeah, for sure.
it wasn't done
Maybe
real smoothly. And I think part of the problem is that because I think they were trying to guard this secret for the end where she's burning these letters and all
yeah,
this. And maybe that was such a guarded secret
mm,
from, showing that it made some of the clunkiness there
yeah.
in the setup. And Genevieve is chiming in as well. She broke into the police station before to get the mask. That's
That
right.
was
Remember
her.
there was a break in to get the mask. I remember that scene.
I do remember that scene too, but I didn't. That was Audrey. Really?
Was that Audrey or was that Piper?
I thought it was Piper or
I thought it was
Kieran
yeah.
or Brandon or whoever. Yeah, I,
Or yeah, unidentified, right? Yeah,
yeah,
keep us honest in the chat, guys.
yeah.
I thought it was Piper, but it could be it could. Hey, I can't
I
swear
thought
to it
yeah.
right now.
I
So
thought it was one
it's
of the killers because,
yeah.
huh, I could be wrong. I don't know, but
Oh, this is another one, Bobby. Father Death. Good point. And it always bugged me. They never explained the part where Brandon James' mother said she talked to Brandon's son. She said it was Kieran, but it was never addressed after that. Remember that
yeah,
scene? And they were like, "I
yeah,
talked to Brandon's son," and but she was not all in her full
yeah. She wasn't. Yeah,
faculties.
yeah,
So I always that's why I'm like, "Oh, it wasn't Kieran. It wasn't Kieran."
yeah,
But I mean, maybe it was. Now that we
yeah.
know what happened, but
Because yeah,
that's a good point, Father. That's a good point, man. I remember
yeah.
that.
Because they name dropped Seth Branson, and she was like, "Yeah, that's it, Seth." And that's when everyone was like, "Oh, he's
Hmm.
the killer."
He's the killer. Yes.
Yeah, and it was like, yeah. But oh, another pro. It just kind of
Yeah.
popped
Yeah.
into my mind
Uh huh.
with the Audrey thing. Um, I like how they were discreet about them not knowing it was two killers in the beginning, because only
Hmm.
Noah knew. Because he's like, well, he's like, maybe this story might be over, but Piper was attacked. Now she could have made it up for sure, but Will Belmont confirmed it. So he's like, "Is there more to come, or are we just getting started, or is this the end, or are we just getting started?"
Started, yeah.
And it was like, okay, and they kind of did that the same thing at the end of season two, and then well, that was the end of that.
Yeah, I
But
know. Sadly.
yeah, found DNA and dropped. Kieran, I kind of thought he was a little obvious. I don't know, like,
Okay.
yeah, because
Well,
yeah,
I mean, here's my thought on him. He seemed. I kept thinking. I was suspicious of him from early in the show,
me
and the
too.
people that I watched it with, I had a three people that would come over to the house, and we would watch every episode each week on
Oh,
MTV.
that's awesome.
So we
That's
had like a
awesome.
live watch
Yeah,
party in the house. And
yeah,
so I was like, "Oh, it's Kieran," and one of the people who were watching with me, she's like, "No, it's not going to be him." I'm like, "I'm
yeah,
just telling you." And
yeah.
then here's what sealed it for me, Bobby. I want to see, and everybody in the chat, I want you to think back to me. I think it was in season two. I'm pretty sure.
I think I know where
But
you're going, but yeah,
yeah, okay, here comes. There was a scene where there's a carnival in town,
yes,
and Kieran goes into this haunted mirror thing or whatever it
yeah,
was, the mirror thing, and he gets cut, he gets stabbed, and he comes out, and he's like, oh, and there's no ghost face to be found anywhere,
yeah,
just gone.
yeah,
And the very minute that scene happened, I looked over
yeah,
to my friend here who was with me. I said, "It's 1,000%
yeah,
him." There's no. I already thought it was,
yeah.
but then I knew it was in my mind. How about you? Were you pretty convinced before then, or did that scene affect your decision?
He just seemed a little like off to me, like the new kid. He didn't really have
Hmm.
many friends. And then the carnival scene, because he comes out in the costume and not in the
Hmm.
costume, in the
The
Brandon James
Right.
attire or
Yes.
whatever you want to call it. And then the cops have their guns drawn at him, and then his mouth is taped, and he's acting like the victim. And it's a smart
Yeah.
play.
It
I'll give him
was.
credit. Smart play that because he knew he was caught, but he's like, I can get out of this.
Yeah, it's the only way to get out.
And
It's like a
yeah,
it's a ejection. What do they call it?
yeah.
You pull the ejection handle
Yeah,
out of
yeah,
jet.
yeah, yeah. But I was just so now Piper. I had zero clue. I
Yeah.
thought it was Noah and Kieran. I thought
Hmm.
they would take
Hmm.
a different approach with the Randy like character,
Oh yeah.
but I had no idea it was Piper. And then the half sister blew my mind, of course. But Kieran, I was like, he's a little shady, and well, here we are.
Here we are. Yeah.
But when he revealed himself, I thought that was his best acting in the whole
Yeah.
series
It was. It
because
was good.
I think he slipped up and he said something. The killer said something to Emma on the phone,
Hmm.
and then he said the same thing. And then Emma was like, "Wait, why did you say that?" And he's like, "Oh, what?" And then she's like, "Oh my
Hmm.
God, it's you, isn't it?" And he just like
Yeah.
looks down, and then he comes back and he
Comes
smiles and
up.
goes, "He's like, you're not wrong." And it's like, "Oh, hello, Billy Loomis."
Oh
It's
man.
like when he did that, I was like, "Oh," I was like, "Okay, I'm on board." And he was great. Like, yeah, that was his best acting. And this was his first acting role. I read
You're
Kieran.
not wrong.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, you're not
Oh.
wrong.
They're not wrong. Oh
And
gosh.
he's like
That was his first.
smiling. His first
Yeah. It
acting
was.
role.
It was
Yeah,
very. Not intimidating. Well, not intimidating.
yeah,
What's that look when you're just? It's like. Oh well, I don't know. I'm blanking out. Normally, I don't
psychotic.
blank out on this.
Yeah, yeah.
Psychotic,
Yeah,
intimidating
he
look.
was
It's. Ooh,
crazy. And he's like, "You're not wrong." And it's like, okay, well, this just got interesting. And it's only Emma, Audrey, and him there. And
that's
it's like,
right.
oh. And then yeah,
Yeah.
okay, I think you mentioned, I think somebody in the chat mentioned this earlier. I don't remember who it was, but Zoe,
Yeah.
big
Zoe's
con,
death. Yeah, man.
big con killing her off. I thought they could have got more with her, and then that was Noah's second love interest to be killed, Riley and Zoe, and it was like, come
Oh, poor
on,
Noah.
yeah,
I know. I feel.
yeah,
I mean, this poor guy, man.
yeah,
Yes. Sometimes
yeah,
life just tells you it's trying to send you a message. It's just
yeah,
just be single. Just don't date because you're gonna kill
yeah,
somebody. If you go date
yeah,
another girl, she's gonna die again.
yeah. And Zoe was such a good character. It was like, yeah, I don't know what. I mean, everyone can't make it.
Yeah.
I understand that, but it's like, come on. You didn't have to kill her off. You could have killed. I would have rather them killed the sheriff's kid, Stavo, I think his name was.
Oh,
Yeah,
Stavo, Stavo.
yeah. He was a little creepy, but I guess he
He
was.
was.
Yeah, I would have rathered him go than Zoe. I don't know. Like if they had to pick one.
I mean, I pretty much agree with you, man. Because
Yeah,
Zoe was it was Gustavo. That's right, Gustavo.
yeah,
Right,
Gustavo. Yeah,
that's right.
Gustavo. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Father Death, you're all over your Scream TV trivia tonight.
I
I'm loving
like
it,
it.
man. I love it. Uh, and Brett, yes, yeah, you should revisit. I'm gonna revisit it too. It's been a bit since I've really sat down and watched
Mm,
them. Just let them flow and let them and binge them. But that's something we could do. And heck, who knows, man? Maybe we'll consider. I mean, that's a commitment though. That's 20. That's 20
24
something
episodes. Yeah,
episodes.
or maybe like the
Us.
finale of both. Yeah,
Maybe
I don't know.
so, or the like
Yeah,
the I don't know. Well, I don't know. I'll think about
yeah,
how that would work, but
yeah. I don't
either
know.
way, we'll figure it out. We'll figure out
Yeah,
some.
for sure.
But yeah, Stavo was good, and
Yeah,
you're welcome, brother. You're welcome, man.
yeah.
Uh, so, oh gosh, Carrie, she was pregnant. She was in her pageant dress in the coffin.
Yes, she
Oh,
was.
that's just so messed up, dude.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then they were playing all the games. They were like, "Oh, you got to go save Noah, then you got to go save Zoe."
Oh,
Yeah.
good night, Denisha. Thank you for hanging
Good
out.
night. Yeah.
Appreciate you. And thank you for being a Cravenite and being a member of the channel. That means so much. Thank you so much, Denisha. I will see you hopefully tomorrow night on the members only live watch party for Hatchet. All right.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah. And then going back to Zoe, when
Mm-hmm.
they had the video playing on loop of her yelling "help, help," but when they got to her, she was dead for a few
She
hours.
was already dead. It was so,
Yeah, it was
oh,
like,
man.
oh, I was.
That's
That one
rough.
was rough. I was like, they didn't have to kill her off. I was like, I get it, but like, oh, poor Noah.
Oh,
Poor
I
Noah.
know. Poor Noah is that guy, and I loved his character. By the way, I
Yeah.
love the
Oh,
character of Noah.
and he
Just
was
so much
funny
fun.
too.
He
He was a
was.
he was Randy in a way. He was a little nerdy, but he was so
Hmm.
funny. Like
It was
I
perfect.
think it's in season 2. He's in the hospital because he got attacked, and I think they're oh Emma and Audrey are on the run because they think Emma and Audrey killed the cop, which awesome 2 episodes.
Hmm.
The Morgue podcast. Yeah, that was his
Yeah,
name. Yeah.
that's it,
But
man.
Noah gets up from his hospital bed and he's like, I'm ready to go. And he's with Brooke. And obviously he's in one of those hospital gowns and
Oh
his
yeah.
underwear showing. He's got like ducks on his underwear. And Brooke's like, maybe you want to put on some pants? He's like, yeah, maybe we should.
I love it, man.
Yeah.
That's so. Noah was just. He was the man. He was so
And
good.
just
And
the little quirky stuff like that. It was like,
said
no.
Noah was hallucinating too. That Zoe was with him. It was heartbreaking. Oh
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's awful.
Yeah, yeah, that was a rough. And then going back to what I was saying when they framed when Kieran
Hmm.
framed Emma and Audrey with killing the cop and who Brooke's father.
Brooke's
Like
father. Oh, that
yeah,
guy. There
like
was a
he
time
got
where I thought he was involved. That guy was rough,
yeah, he was shady,
ruthless, dude. Very shady.
shady. And then
Yes, he
yeah,
was.
he got I think he got stabbed by like a pitchfork or something. It was
Oh,
like
maybe it might
it
have
was
been.
like I think maybe yeah, I think Kieran stabbed him a couple times, but they got Emma and Audrey there, and the cops showed up, and they had blood on their hands, and it was like, and then they're
Oof.
taking Emma and Audrey to the police station. The killer interrupts the driving like Mickey did in Scream 2, and he kills the cop. Yes, pitchfork. Yeah, I do remember
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
another one. I'm like,
It's
what's going on?
creative. It's different.
Yeah,
It's something
yeah.
different. Yeah.
And then Kieran kills the cop and he's going into the back seat of Emma and Audrey and they're like backing up and he just dangles the keys and he tosses them and then he's out. Yeah, it was like, oh,
Man. Bob says, I wish there was a way to put Noah and Audrey into the film franchise. Oh, I know. I'm with you, Bob.
I would like
I would love
every
that.
yeah. I mean, it's a lot of characters, but like I would like Emma in there and I mean, Emma said she would be game. I
She
do remember
did.
that.
She
do
sure
remember that
did.
interview.
Willa Fitzpatrick, all right? Or
Yeah.
Fitzgerald, or Philip Fitzgerald, or
Fitzgerald, yeah, yeah.
Fitzgerald, yeah.
She's
Yeah,
like,
she
I'd love to
said,
be a killer.
I'd love to be a
Yeah,
Ghostface killer. I'm like, let's go. I even did a little
yeah,
video on that. I'm like, when
yeah,
she made that announcement, I'm like, let's go.
yeah,
Get her, bring, and she doesn't have to be Emma. Just bring
yeah,
her in as an actress
yeah,
to be in the movie.
yeah.
I mean, why not? I mean,
And they could make like a little joke, like, you look familiar. You look like the girl. They could be like, oh, you look like if Emma Duvall from a
yeah,
couple years ago. She's like, yeah, I get that a lot. Just something, just make a little joke about it.
yeah,
I feel
totally.
like that'd be cool.
Hey,
Yeah,
your name's not Emma, is it? I get that
yeah,
a lot. Yeah.
yeah. She's like, I get that a lot for some reason. I don't know why. That could be cool. That would be really cool. That would be very the word meta. This streams a vibe. I love it.
Nice. Thanks, Nate. The stream's a
Yeah,
vibe.
I
Nice.
love it.
Nice.
Yeah,
Glad you're here vibing with us, man. I
yeah.
love it.
And
Carrie
not
says,
much.
let's have a crossover. That's right. I mean, it could be fun.
Yes. It was
It
supposed
really
to be a
could.
crossover too eventually, but
Mm-hmm.
that didn't happen. Season 3 was gonna lead to season 4, and they were gonna go find Gale
Ah.
Weathers. I don't know if Courtney Cox would have done the show though.
Yeah, I kind of doubt it, man, at that
Yeah, me
point, because
too. Me too.
I think she's so at that, especially, I mean, not to say she wouldn't, but I don't
Yeah,
think MTV would have convinced her.
yeah.
I
They
don't
would
think
have
she
had
would have
to.
done a show on MTV. Let me put it that way. Yeah, it would have been
They would have had to
huge.
throw something at her, and it was like,
Yeah, if it was on NBC or ABC network, where
yeah,
there's, that's
for sure.
maybe, but
Yeah,
yeah, that would have been tough.
yeah. And then no Ghostface, like I said.
Uh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Of course, that's. But this is kind of the last one I have. Kieran's acting role. It's a fact. Nev Campbell, Sidney Prescott, they interviewed her about the show, and she said, if it's successful, I'll consider coming on. And that never happened. What it would have been cool.
Oh,
That would have been awesome.
wow.
If she just pops up in an episode on MTV, you're like, oh,
Oh,
that would
yeah,
have been cool. But it was like,
that would have been
and she was
amazing.
game. She was game for it. So they should have figured that. Well, they did. Or they were trying to get her involved, but obviously seasons 1 and 2 ended,
Yeah.
and that was that. Lakewood versus Woodsboro.
Yeah. I
Oof.
mean,
I don't. I don't know who I'd take there. The Lakewood killings were brutal.
or maybe it should be Lakesboro if you want to
Lakesboro. Oh,
mash
they
them
team
up.
up. Yeah,
Lakesboro,
Lakesboro. Wood Lake.
Wood
Yeah,
Lake. That could
yeah,
be. Yeah, well,
yeah,
I'd be reversing it. Woods Lake
yeah,
or Lake Woods. I
yeah.
don't think. I don't know.
Or Wood. Yeah, well, I was gonna say Woodsboro, but that's yeah. Yeah, you gotta combine them.
Got to kind of mash them up in a way that
Yeah,
flows.
yeah. But I
Oh,
really did enjoy the show for what it was.
me too,
It
man.
it wasn't any. It wasn't a movie or anything. It doesn't hold up to that. But I mean, for what
Sure.
it was really cool, and I enjoyed it.
Me too, man. And an interesting thing is one of the people who, well, actually, the person I was talking about earlier, when she was watching it with me, she
Hmm.
had never seen a Scream movie.
Really?
So, yeah, she was always
Huh.
afraid to watch them. She was scared. She didn't like
Oh.
horror movies. I said, look, I'll tell you what. How about we'll use the TV show as your training wheels
Mm,
for Scream, if you like. And of
mm.
course, I didn't know what it was going to be like either. But I was like, just come watch
Yeah,
it
of
with
course.
me. Let's see what happens. And
Mm.
then, oh, okay, the woods of Lakeboro. Ha ha! There you go, Jackie. I love
I
that.
like it. I
The
like it.
woods of
The Woods of
Lakeboro.
Lakeboro.
That's
I like it.
that's the best one I think I've ever heard so far. I love
Yeah,
that.
no, I could
Um,
not come up with that. So good.
that's great. That's the one you need to like
Yeah.
jot that down and hang on to that. Like pin that
Trade
somewhere.
trademark that just in case.
Yes, totally.
Yeah.
But what I was saying was, I'll go back to that. I saw that comment. I said, I got to pull that up. But she had never seen a Scream movie, so she watched
Crazy.
all 2 seasons of this thing. Especially like the
Yeah.
first season we got, and there was a year off
Mm.
or whatever. So she
Yeah.
watched those 10 episodes, and then she said, okay. I said, look, if you like this, oh my gosh, buckle up because
Mm.
I got some movies to show you. So
Yeah.
she came over and we watched all the movies. First time watched for her, all 4 of them, and her very first initial thought was, I like the TV series more. I said, really? I said, I'm really curious why. Like, what? She said, well, because I feel like I know them better. And I said,
Yeah, more
that's
character
because you
development.
do. You do know
Yeah,
them better.
for
I says,
sure.
you got to remember, Wes Craven's got an hour and 50 minutes
Yeah,
to develop these characters in every movie. Now, of course, as the sequels go, you learn the ones that carry over. You do
yeah,
get more into their lives, but
yeah,
you can't compare. It's unfair to compare a 2 hour movie or under 2 hour movie to 10 hours essentially, or
right.
between 8 or 9 hours,
40 minute.
whatever it
Yeah,
comes out to. Yeah, like 8 to 9 hours. Let's just say that.
yeah,
That's not fair. That's apples and oranges. You
yeah,
can't. But I
yeah,
understood though, and you touched on it earlier, Bobby, how we got that character development from
mhm,
these because it's so many episodes. I mean,
yeah,
it'd be like watching an 8 hour movie
mm,
in one
yeah.
season. Is
Actually,
what it really
yeah,
amounts to,
for sure.
and that's a lot of development. That's a lot of arc
Yeah,
to build for a character. So I understood her comment, but after now that time has passed and she's rewatched the movies many, many, many times,
yeah,
still loves the TV series, as do I.
yeah,
But she's definitely, I think, kind of merged over now to
yeah.
seeing how the movies are now taking that first place
Of
position.
course. I mean,
And
they're classics.
they're just iconic horror films, iconic
Yeah,
everything. And Nev Campbell, man, and I will say this though, I enjoyed Emma Willa
mm,
Fitzgerald. I thought
oh
she
yeah.
did a really good job. And then now I saw her recently. I don't know if you saw this. It's a new show. It's on. I think it's a Prime original.
Amazon Prime. Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? It's the show
Um.
that she's a cop in it. She's a
mhm.
deputy.
Oh, Reacher. Jack Reacher.
Reacher, yes,
Yeah.
Reacher,
I
and
haven't
like
watched it. Yeah.
you haven't?
No.
Oh
No.
man,
No. No.
okay. It's not horror, like nothing at all about
Yeah.
horror, but
Yeah.
it's just a good story. If you,
Yeah.
it's a really good story. I highly recommend it.
Now. Yeah.
Just check it out the first couple episodes, see if you like it.
Now. So we're going off topic a little, but have you ever watched Blue Mountain State?
No, I have
It's a
not.
football TV show. It's only like 3 seasons. It
Okay.
it it was on Spike TV, and then all that happened. But the main
Oh
guy
gosh,
from,
yeah.
or one of the main guys from Blue Mountain State is the main guy in Reacher, I believe. Alan
Oh, okay.
Richardson.
Bro, that guy is he
Yeah, big
did
boy.
big
Yeah,
guy,
yeah,
really, eye candy for the girls and some guys as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
But
That's him.
but that guy is he did such a good
Yeah,
job as Jack Reacher. Thank you,
yeah,
Bob. Yeah, Jack Reacher, that's the one. He
yeah. Jack
did
Reacher. Yeah, yeah.
such a great job in that show. I thoroughly enjoyed the show. I
Yeah.
really
I,
did.
I've
I thought it
I've
was good.
heard I've heard good things about the show. It's like the number one show on Prime, and it already got renewed for season 2. And I'm like,
Already,
maybe I gotta check it out. Yeah.
they pulled a
Where's that
Scream
for Scream
6,
season 3?
right? Come on, man.
Come on, Emma.
Come on, Emma. What's up with that?
Yeah.
What do we got to do? And I got to see, man. I got to tell you, guys, I didn't show this earlier. This shot right here of Brandon James. Look at this
Yes.
shot with the
Yeah.
blade, and he's in that blurred background, which I love that look.
That might be when he killed the cop. I'm not sure.
That's the police car. Yeah,
Yeah. So
that
yeah,
is the
that's the
police
scene.
car.
Yeah.
That's the one. What a shot. What an image, man.
Incredible.
Wow. Look at that.
Yeah.
Just so good. Oh, it's so fun. It was really. I'm glad they did it. And like I say,
Mm,
season one has creative input from
mm.
Wes Craven. I mean, that
Yeah.
literally is the last. Literally the last thing he worked on that where he gave creative input directly
Yeah.
onto it. He also, of course, was executive producer of The Girl in the Photographs,
Yeah.
which came out like a month or two after he died,
Yeah.
and they dedicated it to Wes. It's actually in the movie, and that's the last thing he actually produced that came
It,
out.
it was weird. When I rewatched season 3, he's on there.
They
He gets
possibly
credit. Yeah. I
they
think
do.
maybe just to give money to the family.
I think it is, man.
Yeah.
It's
But
his
he was
state,
on there. I was
and
like,
I
huh,
think it's almost like
tough to move.
very classy. I agree.
Yeah,
It
of
was.
course.
It's kind of like, look, dude, this isn't happening without Wes. This is none
Yeah.
of this is, and so I always thought it was cool, even in season two.
Yeah,
he's listed as executive producer and credits on
yeah,
every episode.
yeah. That's
And I
cool.
just think that that's cool. I think you're right. I think it is for the state. The estate will get royalties and their,
Yeah,
and all that. And it's just, and like I say, it's a cool thing to do. Yeah, yeah. Brett says
yeah,
contracts. Yeah, exactly. It's
yeah,
probably a contractual thing, but either way, I'm glad to see it. Even watching them
yeah,
after he'd
for
passed away,
sure.
to see him on there,
Yeah,
executive producer Wes Craven, because you don't get to see that anymore after that. And once those three
yeah.
seasons are done, and then Girl
It's
in the Photographs, you never see his name on anything new. That was it.
yeah,
That was the last time. So
yeah.
yeah, Carrie, you take care. I'm glad you're here. You have a good night too. Moi to
Take
you as
care.
well. Well,
Yeah,
hopefully I'll see you tomorrow night, Carrie, if you can make it. We're going to be watching Hatchet.
hatchet.
Oh my
Love it.
goodness.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but yeah,
I'm so excited for what could be and what could happen. Uh, but it's nice to see, though. It is cool. It is, Brett. It's really cool
100%.
to see his name there, and I just love that.
And
So,
it was
go ahead.
weird too. The night before, or I think the day before season one finale, wasn't that when he passed away? It was something like that.
Yeah,
Like
it
right
was
before the finale, it was like I remember I was like, "Wow, that's crazy."
it was crazy, dude. It was
Yeah,
like, how fitting is it that this is
yeah.
happening like this? That
It was like really weird. It was like I remember sitting there. I'm like, "Oh, wow." Thank you,
Yep.
Craven. Good night, Bobby. Good night, Carrie.
Good night, Carrie. Thank you. You're welcome. Our pleasure.
Yeah, for sure.
Hope to see you tomorrow night. Take care.
Yeah,
Yeah, oh man, it was so wild how that all that it
yeah.
worked out
It
like
was
that.
like
It
it
was,
was weird, just strange. But hey, yeah. I mean,
yeah,
it was fitting, of course.
it was. It totally
Yeah,
was, man. And
yeah,
it almost felt like, you had this just, it just was is meant to be, so to speak. Like this was it. It was ending, and it all ended together. Just kind of, it was.
yeah,
I don't know if poetic's the word or not. That, but you know what I'm trying to say.
yeah,
It's that kind of
yeah,
feel to it. Like,
yeah, for sure. I
this
feel you.
is, man. And it's sad, and very sad too. That was.
Yeah,
I just remember how shocking it was when
mm,
the news came out. I mean, I was stunned because
yeah,
there was nothing in the public that had
yeah,
been leaked of it all. No
yeah.
one said a
Nobody
word.
knew.
Nobody. In fact, he was talking about he was under contract with the Sci-Fi Channel for two television shows he was working on. He was
Yeah.
already contracted to do a remake of People Under the Stairs. He was
Okay.
going to bring
Yeah.
back the movie and do it again. And then it just
Yeah.
all of it just bam, the news came
Yeah.
out. August the whatever the date was,
I think it
15th
was
I
like
believe it was, or
yeah,
20th.
or end of August or something.
Yeah, I
I
think it
think.
was the 20th. I have to Google it and make sure. I think it's the 20th,
Yeah.
but something like that. And
Yeah.
it's in late August. Anyway, man, yeah, it was crazy. Father Death is off topic, but they named West Six after. Yeah, that's right. They sure did. Yep, that's
Yeah.
right.
That was.
That was
Yeah.
classy.
Going in, I was like, oh, they have to keep Wes alive. I'm like, they can't just kill a character they named Wes. That was my thinking. I was like, he has to survive.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
then how they did it, I'm like, okay, yeah. I'm like, I understand why Wes had to
Hmm.
get killed in one
He
of the
had.
most brutal ways.
I know, right? The slow mo through the neck. Oh my gosh. But
I
yeah, they
was,
basically. Oh, I know. It was like, oh, I remember in the theater, I was like, oh
me
man,
too. I'm
this
like,
is
oh,
rough, man. But yeah, they had to do it. They had to do it.
yeah.
Brett says you two are a blast to listen to. Thank you. If I had $100, I'd keep you here for another hour. Oh,
Hey,
that's awesome.
thanks,
Thank you,
Brett.
Brett. I appreciate that, man.
Yeah,
And
awesome.
we would stay another hour if you did. So thank
I
you.
could
That's
talk
awesome.
Scream TV and scream all day long.
Oh, all
Yeah,
day long, man.
yeah,
Absolutely. Uh, yeah, and I was hoping that in my initial predictions, I believe when I was first talking about,
yeah,
I said I want Wes to either be the killer
yeah,
or to survive and be into Scream Six.
yeah,
Those were the two things I wanted going into it
yeah.
because it was Wes. You know?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And yeah, that's the same thing. I was like, he's got to be notable somehow. And then they
Hmm.
killed him. I'm like, oh. And then they did the tribute with all the different voices, which was cool. I gotta go
Oh
back and listen to
man,
that again.
for
And it was
real.
like, all right, this is radio silence just saying hey, you know?
Yep, absolutely. He
Yeah,
was there just paying homage and respects to him,
yeah,
and They're like, well, they wanted to get the four West in there. They're the band. They wanted to get that. And I'll tell you what, I've watched Scream 5 like I think 8 times now. I want to keep going. I want to get to 10. I want to get that nice number of 10. But
Yeah,
every time, Bobby, I watch it and that Four West scene comes on, there's a lot of voices. You listen to that really
yeah,
closely, especially with headphones, and
yeah,
you hear it's like a shout, like a group is shouting it. Not
yeah,
just the, you can tell how thick it is. Like there's so many voices layered. It's very, very,
yeah,
and it makes my heart just kind of, it warms my heart, man,
yeah.
when I hear
It's
it. It
cool.
really does. Let's see here. Father Death says, I was hoping Stu would make a return. Listen, Father Death, let me tell you something.
Hey, Stu.
It is coming. Good things come. Excuse me. Ooh, let me try it again. Good things come to those who wait. And even when your voice gets squeaky after talking for about 2 hours, I need a
Yeah,
drink of water.
yeah. That's what I just did. I'm like, I'm sorry,
Woo!
but ooh,
Desperately needed that.
yeah,
A little moisture there, a little hydration. Okay,
yeah.
so here's the thing. I am the self-professed conductor. What, Bobby? Share the news.
The
What am I?
Stu train, baby.
That's right, and we're going to get it up, ladies and
I
gentlemen.
love
We're
that. Oh,
going to get it up. Get those Stu hashtags right now. Let's celebrate Stu again because listen. My channel will always be a pro Stu channel. I will
yeah.
always be the conductor. And guess what? If he doesn't show up in 6 or 7, do you think the train's going to go off the tracks? Heck
Not a
no.
chance.
We're
Not
going
a
to
chance.
refuel and we're going to go for the next trilogy. Let's go.
For
It's just a matter of
Scream
time.
8, Scream
Scream
8,
8,
Scream
heck
9.
yeah. Scream 9, Scream 10, whatever it takes. Jackie says he's coming back in 6 or 7.
I think he
Absolutely
is
he
too.
is.
It's just, he never
Terry's like,
died.
oh yeah. He never died. That's the whole thing, Bobby.
It's
He
canon.
never died.
It is canon that he is alive. He was going to be
It
in 3.
is. He's supposed to have been in 3. That's right. There and people say, well, they didn't do it, so that means
Yeah.
he's not alive. I said, no, it doesn't.
Yeah. No,
That
not at
doesn't
all.
change that Wes and Kevin both agreed that Stu was alive. It's just that
Yeah.
simple. I mean, but
Yeah.
there's a lot more evidence for it we can go into.
Yeah.
That's right. Get there. Hashtag Stu. There you go.
Stu
Stu
killed
killed
Dewey.
Dewey.
Ooh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what I'm
I'd be
talking
for
about.
that.
Yeah, Bob.
Stu,
That's right.
Stu. I'd be for
These
that.
these
He's great.
days, you gotta have a
Have a
sequel.
sequel. Love that
What's up,
movie.
Heavy Metal Beer Club? Cheers from Tucson. Well, thank you. Glad you're here.
Arizona.
We're gonna go a few
Nice.
more minutes. We're gonna start wrapping up here. We got about let's go maybe 5, 10 more minutes. What do you think, Bobby? All
Sounds good
right.
to me, man.
Let's do it. We'll go about another 10 minutes and we'll call it
Yeah.
a night. Yeah, that's right. Original Scream 3 script. It's done. He was there 3 weeks from shooting when
And
they
they
when they
paid
got
him.
canceled out. And they paid Matthew Lillard. It
They
was a
paid
done.
him.
It was all
They
done.
paid
That's
him.
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Amber lies. Oh
That's
yeah.
right.
Amber.
Hashtag Amber
Oh,
Lies.
Amber.
Oh,
I'm
hold on a second now.
hit or
Did you
miss with
say
her.
Amber, Bobby?
Oh God.
Did I hear the name?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh boy. All right, everybody. Get your stink face on. Get your stink face on. There
Yeah.
we go. Look at that.
Yeah.
That encompasses the character of Amber Freeman. That
Yeah.
is her on a platter right there, or I should say in a picture. Yeah. All right.
When she revealed herself, she was good. I'll give her
She
that.
was good. She was
When
good.
I when she's got, I think it's Sydney in front of her. It could be Sydney or Sam. I could be wrong, but she makes the I'm like, oh.
Yes.
I was like, okay, yeah.
That's it.
I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
okay, okay. And then Richie, I enjoyed him thoroughly throughout the movie. Just like,
Oh, me too.
What were
Totally.
you What were you doing when she got attacked? I was watching Netflix. Oh, solid alibi, bro.
So
That's
out
funny.
by. Yeah.
It's like, oh boy. And then it was so funny. Amber makes fun of him for the alibi, and they were like, "Hey, let's go Netflix." Because
Let's go Netflix. Yeah.
and it's like, oh wait, they were the killers. Yeah, Stu was
Totally.
helping. Mhm. Full time. Yeah.
Interesting. Woo.
Huh.
At this
Charlie.
point,
Take Charlie out of there, and I'm okay with it.
Charlie. I'll tell you what though, Jill, my favorite Ghostface killer after Stu and Billy is Jill Roberts. Remember, that's my favorite one.
Mine's, I, I, I don't know who to pick. It's after Stu and Billy, of course. It's either
Yeah,
Jill or Mickey. I
Mickey's a good
I
choice.
I
I would.
thought
I
Mickey
wouldn't. I
was
wouldn't hate on that at all.
Mickey was like mental too. Like when he sits
Totally.
next to Sydney, he's like, "This is just gonna keep happening." And it's like, "Oh, bro." And then he just reveals himself, and then he makes Sydney think the boyfriend's in on it. He's like, "Oh, history repeats itself," and it's like,
Don't you
"Oh,
know history
history
repeats
repeats
itself?
itself."
Oh, dang.
Classic line. I remember watching that for the first time, and I was like, "Oh, it's him." And I honestly I should have known because he disappeared for like 40 minutes, but.
Yeah, he literally is gone. Like for a long time.
Yeah. But at the time when I first watched these movies, I didn't really like pick up on those things.
Hmm.
Like the first movie, like what everybody thought, it's just one killer. And then the second one, and I'm like, oh wow. I thought it was Dewey. The first time I watched Scream, I thought it was Dewey.
Did you really?
I thought it was Dewey the
Oh,
whole time. Like
okay. All right.
the awkward cop that could get away with it. I'm like, I thought it was Dewey. I really did. And then because
Man,
I was like, oh, Billy, way too obvious. I'm like, can't be him. But it was just like, Wes Craven's the only guy I know that could literally tell you who the killer is, and you're still shocked it's him.
bingo.
Because I'm
Right?
like, Billy stunned me, and I'm like, it was pointing at him the entire time. And it's like, yeah.
It was.
And yeah, yeah,
But so was Billy. I mean, like I say, Wes could execute that stuff, man.
yeah,
He could execute it in a way that it's completely you're bought in 100%.
yeah,
It's not even like an it's he was a master. I mean that's
yeah,
what I mean I really mean it. He was a master of his craft, and
yeah,
there are not many that are at the level of a Wes Craven, a John Carpenter,
yeah.
and James Wan. I'm gonna put James Wan in
Wow,
that
yeah, yeah,
category.
yeah,
Those are master filmmakers, and that's why I just I'm hoping and praying and keeping everything crossed here that Radio Silence is not going to be rushing. They're going to
yeah.
deliver, and we're going to have a great Scream Six. This is
I, I,
a pivotal movie right now for them.
I believe we will. Honestly, I, I didn't have, I wasn't sure how I felt coming into five, but it was like,
Hmm.
all right. But now this is like their movie. You've said this before, but I'm just gonna reiterate it.
Yeah.
Five was a love letter to Wes and one. Now this
Yes.
is their own movie. Now
That's right.
they got to take chances. I truly believe.
I
I
do too.
like three
Got
killers.
to.
That would be great. Like what else? Two killers killing at the same time. That would be great. But like,
Hmm.
yeah, don't. I don't know. There's some stuff they could do that could get them in trouble for sure. Like, don't kill Sydney. That's for
Oh gosh.
one. Yeah,
Yeah.
don't kill Sydney. I don't. I can't imagine they are like that to do that. I can't
I
imagine.
wouldn't either, man. I think they have to realize too how important this movie is as
Yeah,
well for their career, for the
yeah,
franchise. I think this is because all of the now that we saw that they did what I think is a pretty good job with carrying the mantle that Wes Craven created
yeah,
and paying the right amount of homage to him and doing what they and all that. I think this is the time they step out. They've got to step out.
yeah,
They've got to make it a
yeah,
show their DNA on the
yeah.
movie. Really show it and
And
what they're made of.
yeah, and they did say they're down the rabbit hole, so
Oh
they're gonna
gosh,
continue it. Yeah,
that's right. Everything's up for grabs. They're willing to risk it all to subvert fan
yeah,
expectations. It's burned into my head. I remember that I
yeah,
read those quotes, and I'm like, oh man,
yeah,
they're man. And I love what Father Death says. I can't wait to see Tara actually be in the movie, not as a victim. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yes, let's go, Tara.
And hopefully she's the final girl. Hopefully,
Oh, I so hope so, man. I mean, I am
she's a
rooting
good
for it.
actress.
She is. She's really good, and she proved in her scenes that she can carry her role.
Hey,
Look at
I
that
saw
shot.
that.
I
Yeah,
love that shot. I still
yeah,
prefer the Babadook, but
yeah.
I
Oh
telling
yeah.
you, her little lateral suits her. But
Now that's when she shot Amber, right?
that's when she shot Amber,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
That's when right
Okay.
after you see Amber's
Yeah.
brain matter flat on her head,
Oh yeah.
then we see this shot here. She's
Yeah.
yeah, she's so good. She owned every single scene that she was in. She
Yeah.
owned it.
For
So
sure.
I really hope that that we
Yeah,
do get to see that.
yeah.
What's up,
I'm
Deputy Doofy? I see you, Deputy Doofy,
Deputy
in the house. Welcome.
Doofy.
Oh, look at else we got here. I shot him 6 times.
Oh, I've
What's
heard that
up,
name
man?
so many times.
Yeah, what's up, dude? Good to see you here. We're starting to wind down, but I'm glad you're here,
Yeah,
though. Got to pop in
yeah.
and tell in. You'll have to watch the replay. I think we did some digging tonight into Scream
Sure.
TV. We got the
Yeah,
shovels out. It's been so much fun.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, man, we got to get Jenna back. We got to get the. I think the gang is all coming back. We're just gonna.
I I can't
I
imagine
think
they're
so.
not. But
No. And,
now let me ask you something. Who do you think's the opening kill in six? Because I have a guess, but
oh,
I want to see.
okay. So there's this, and I don't know that it's right, but there's this description of Scream Six. I think it's on IMDb right now,
Okay.
where it says a survivor of previous so one of the surviving characters is killed, and the gang comes in to solve the case. I'm paraphrasing, obviously, but
Yeah, but
basically, it's indicating that the opening kill is someone who is a previous survivor. Which the first person that comes to my mind, and I hate to say this, but I said he was going to die in five, is Chad Meeks.
I
That's
agree.
the first person I
I
think
think
of.
I think he's got to be the opening kill, or I hate to
Hmm.
say it, um, his mother.
Martha Meeks?
I hate to
Oh,
say it. They
Martha.
might just do it. I wouldn't be surprised. I really wouldn't be. I don't want it, but I wouldn't be surprised. I think she's great.
Oh, that would be so sad. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely watch the replay, guys. After we're done, definitely. I appreciate
Yeah,
that so
for
much.
sure.
And be sure and leave a comment in the replay in the comments, so we can continue talking with you there in the comments. So yeah, Chad just seems to be it now. Now, Father
Yeah,
Death suggesting someone who
Mindy.
would be a real shocker if you kill
Yeah,
Mindy. But
the
see,
female Randy.
but I don't know, man. Look, I'm not saying anything negative about Chad because
Mm,
I didn't dislike him, but I'm thinking to myself, if one of these dies in the opening, and I'm going to watch the other one, I
mm,
want to watch Mindy because Mindy
yeah,
impressed me much more than Chad. I don't know how strong Chad is to watch for another whole 2 hours
yeah,
without his sister. I'm
yeah,
just being very honest right now. I
yeah.
don't know.
Yeah. He's the one. He's the bottom. That's just how it is. He's not bad,
I
but he's just
no, he's not
yeah.
bad, but
Of the
I just
four,
I think he's the most expendable of the two.
yeah,
Not Mindy. I agree,
not
Jen.
Mindy.
I, I,
Yeah,
I want
I
I
agree.
want Mindy to make it. I do.
I thought Mindy was really good.
Not Martha. I know,
I
Jackie.
know. I don't want it either,
No.
but I wouldn't if they just want to shock you and just be like, "Hey, we're going for it." I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not ruling it out.
Well, listen. I mean, you can't rule it out right now because
Mm,
they said they're going to risk. They're willing to risk it all.
mm,
Think about that. Willing to risk it all to subvert fan expectations. That's the actual quote.
yeah,
Now, Brett's got an idea that this would subvert fan expectations. Sam Carpenter is killed in the opening, leaving the story to Tara. That would be. I think there would not be a jaw
mm,
that would not be on the floor if they kill
wow.
Sam in the
Oh,
opening of six. I can't imagine it would completely. Talking about subverting, that would turn it up. Not
wow.
subvert it. That would completely throw it into another universe
That
because no one sees that coming,
to
Bobby.
you want to get people talking. You want shocked faces. That will do it. I
I would
mean,
just be like looking around the theater like, what's happening?
I
They
mean,
actually did this. I can't believe it.
I'm iffy on Sam. Oh, nice picture.
Oh, that's so good.
I'm iffy on Sam. I mean, I like Tara better, but like, ooh, opening kill. That would
Opening
be.
kill, Sam Carpenter. Oh my gosh. Look, I don't think it's going to happen, but
Yeah,
I
no, I
think
don't
it's
think so either.
interesting to think about. It's just something interesting to throw out there. That's all.
Yeah, and also if you kill Sam, you get less Billy, which I know people didn't like the Billy flashbacks, but
Oh,
I was stunned in the theater when he was in the mirror. Yeah,
there it
when he was in the
is.
mirror the very first time, and I'm like, wait, is
Oh
that Billy
yeah.
Loomis? I had to like do a
Yes.
double take. I'm
Yes.
like, oh, and then I would love it now. I want Stu to come back alive fully, but if I
Yes.
have to get him in Ghost, I want him and Billy to have like an argument, and like if a phone rings or something, and Stu should be like, I wouldn't let your partner pick that up if I was you, from personal experience. Like, because when he got hit in
Yeah.
the with the head,
You
yeah,
hit me with the phone. Yeah.
yeah, that
Yeah.
was improvised too,
It was
improvised, yeah,
improvised. Matthew
it
Lillard.
is insane,
Hashtag Matthew Lillard. Hashtag
yeah,
applause to Matthew Lillard. That
yeah,
guy is a brilliant actor. I mean,
yeah.
just, and even in his other shows, in his movies and TV
Yeah.
shows, he's a brilliant.
Yeah,
But
without a paddle, he was
I
fantastic.
love that movie.
I do too. I
Yes.
do too. Great
And
movie.
do you know I've seen Matthew Lillard on an episode of Criminal Minds playing a serial killer who's grooming a young teenager to kill people.
Wow.
That's
Oh,
it's on Criminal Minds, guys. He actually, you can
wow.
see him and he's a different character than Stu, completely personality.
Yeah, of
But
course.
it's Matthew Lillard, and I'm like, I was watching it, and he was in the first scene. It's in like this pet store, and I look up
Hmm.
there on the camera, looks up, and I'm like, there's someone standing on one of the aisles, standing in the aisles,
Yeah,
and I said, oh my gosh, I said, that's friggin' Matthew Lillard on Criminal Minds.
I love
And
it.
so
Yeah.
that's what was the storyline. He was a
Yeah.
serial killer grooming this teenager to kill. And
That's
it's
the thing.
exactly this is Stu.
Yeah.
This is like, it's like, he's not Stu in the movie, but he's basically like what I would envision Stu doing now. So if any of you guys have Amazon Prime, you can
Yeah.
watch Criminal Minds. And if you just Google Criminal Minds Matthew Lillard, you'll get the episode, what season and episode it is.
Yeah.
You guys should go check it out. It's
Yeah.
out
I
there
might
right
have
now.
to
You can
check that
watch.
out for
It's
sure.
You should. It's worth it. It's like
Mm.
a 45-minute episode. But
I-
anyway, Matthew Lillard kills it every time, no matter what he does. Right? He's so
For
good.
sure.
And
For
Wes
sure.
Craven. I want to. We talked a lot about Wes tonight, but it's worth noting that he actually gave the freedom for Matthew Lillard
Yeah.
and Skeet and everybody else to improvise like that,
Yeah.
and that he said, "Look, go perform. You
Yeah.
do it," and then he let him do it, and he kept it. It's not
Yeah.
like some directors where no, you follow what we've
Yeah.
written. That's it on the page. Not that way. He wasn't that
Yeah.
way.
I still I think it was Randy who said something like he filmed something and Wes was like, "Great, that was perfect." And Randy was like, "No, I didn't like it." He goes, "We gotta do it again." And Wes was like, "It was fine." And Randy was like, "No, I gotta do it again." And Wes was like, Okay, let's do it." And he went back and did it, and he's like, "All right, I feel better." And Wes was like, "Okay." But
Absolutely.
to this day, the iconic scene in the kitchen, Scream One, when
Hmm.
Billy drops the bombshell about why
Oh
he's
yeah,
doing the
man.
killings. I
Yes.
still to this day think Matthew Lillard had no idea that line was coming
Yep.
because Billy said it, the mother, Sydney's mother, Billy's
Hmm.
father, and he's like, "That's why she abandoned me." And you see Stu and his mouth, he's just
He's like,
like
yeah, like
yeah,
whoa.
like I didn't know that part. I still to this
Yeah.
day think he it was improvised
It
or
was
they just didn't
improvised.
tell him. Yeah,
Yeah.
they just didn't tell him about the line to get a
Hmm.
genuine reaction, which would be great. But that was a wild scene.
It was so wild. That scene, that entire kitchen scene was,
Yeah.
and it's not reproducible.
No, can't
You'll
redo it.
never replicate it. I don't care who actors you hire. It does not matter. And that's why I thought it was a very bold move
Yeah.
to have Scream Five's finale in the stew kitchen. And
Yeah.
I wonder if that detracted a little bit because I honestly think if they had not put that ending in Stu's kitchen, it might have been I might have enjoyed it more. But
Yeah.
they're in Stu's kitchen. I'm like, you can't. All I can picture now is all the lines of Stu and all the stuff that goes on. You know what I'm saying? All the stuff.
Yeah.
So how did you feel about that? Were you okay with it, or did it detract at all? I mean, if it didn't, it may not have. But I'm just wondering how you felt about it.
I mean, of course, it was a nice touch to 25 years ago. The whole thing was it was 25 years, but it was like obviously, like you said, you're not going to touch Scream One with that. I
Yeah.
mean, there were some good lines. Now, I
Hmm.
believe it was Richie. There was two Richie lines that stood out to me. One was Sydney, I believe, tried to run, and he's like, "Sit." I'm not gonna say it, but he's like, "Sit down,
Yeah.
Prescott." And it was like, "Oh,
Yes.
okay." And then he's explaining to Sydney about why they're doing it. He's like, "Did you ever see Stab? What was it? Eight? Stab eight
I
or
think, or
seven?
I
Yeah,
think, or 7, 8. Yeah, yeah.
yeah." He's like,
I
"Did
can't
you ever
remember.
see Stab eight?" And Sydney looks
Yeah.
at him. She goes, "I'm not really a fan of horror movies." And he's like,
Yes.
"That checks out."
That
It's like,
checks
oh,
out.
yeah, sure. But it was like, yeah, but no matter what you do, like there were some good lines. The
Yeah.
scene where Amber tackles Sydney over the railing and they go down hard, and it's like, wow,
Hmm.
okay. Now I wish they would have done a ghost face reveal in five, but they didn't do it in one. So
I know. I know. I think
yeah,
that's why they did. And I was with you. I
yeah,
talked many times about I
yeah.
want to see a mask reveal, not that Amber
Yeah.
reveal. We already knew it was her. Remember when
That
it was Sydney? We
that
already knew
was
that was
yeah.
Amber.
Her
But
reveal was cool though. I will say that. I wasn't a fan of
Liv,
Amber.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
When she shoots Liv in the face, and
yeah,
she's like,
man,
"I know you're not the killer because I am." Bam, and it's
yeah,
like I was in the theater. I was like, "Oh, okay." And then
yeah.
I kind of figured out it was Richie after that because Chad was taken out, and in the first scene, Ghostface is tall. So unless it's Stu, not ruling it
Yep,
out, not
yep.
ruling it out. But I'm like, and there you go.
There
I'm
you
like,
go.
it has to be Richie, and then it was, which I was okay
Yep,
with, you know.
yeah.
But yeah, I,
I liked
but
Richie
yeah,
though.
yeah, I did
He
too.
was.
Sorry,
Yeah, yeah, good.
I, I think yeah, they could have kept him around, but he was also such a great killer, like just so he was so nerdy at first, and so like he didn't want to do anything, and then when I think he was hiding the inhaler in his pocket,
Yeah, it was in
and
his pocket.
he
Pulls it
pulls it up,
out.
yeah,
Yeah, you
and
go ahead.
he's
Yeah.
like,
Hmm.
that was so easy, and I'm like, ooh, I'm like
Yeah. It's like
incredible
he said that was
acting.
so easy. He said, I can't believe that worked. He was like
Yeah, I
shocked
can't.
it actually worked.
And he's trying to kick the kids out of the party, and they're throwing stuff at him. He's like, "All right, get it, everybody, get
Yeah.
out."
Everybody get
He's
out.
like, "Oh, he's like grown up talking, get out."
And I love it whenever when someone who's you can't see who they are on purpose. They go
Yeah,
up to where Francis and Tara and Mindy are rather
yeah,
on the couch, and they're
yeah.
like some dude's dad, some dude's weird
It's,
dad's kicking everybody out. And of course, that was Jamie Kennedy's voice who says
was
that
it
line. Yeah, that's Jamie Kennedy's voice.
really?
He
I
did
did
the
not know
voiceover.
that.
Yep.
Oh my! I'm
When
gonna have to go look for that.
I was gonna say when we get done, you should pull it up
Yeah,
and watch. It's fast forward to that scene,
yeah.
once you know it's Jamie Kennedy, you clearly hear it's his voice.
That's
But that's him. He's like, "Yo, dude,
all.
some dude's dad's kicking us out." It's totally Jamie Kennedy. Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know
and
that.
then I found out and confirmed it was him. That was one of his voiceovers work that he did.
That's
Yeah,
awesome. I'm glad they had the OGs in the movie, at least a little
me
like
too.
that. I mean, Stu with
Yes.
the what was it, the
Oh, the
metallic ghost face?
yeah, the metallic ghost face. Yeah, and this stuff is lit.
Yeah, yeah. And I was like, when I found that out after that, it was there you go. When I found
There it
that out
is.
after it was Stu, I'm like, that's incredible.
And then you
Like,
also know about the other line that Stu gave, right? The voiceover when there's a
um,
voice in the
yeah,
entryway of the house,
yeah.
and
Nice
someone
House
says,
Freeman or
"Yeah, it says, yeah,
Sick House
Cool
Freeman.
House
Yeah.
Freeman." Yeah,
Yeah, that's him.
that's
I heard it
yep.
the second time. The first time I didn't know, but second time I'm like, I know who that is.
Jackie says, "I gotta head out. Awesome live, you two. Thanks, Kieran and Bobby. Have a good night, everyone. Good night, Jackie.
Good night,
Hope to
Jackie.
see you tomorrow night, Jackie, on the Hatchet Watch Party if you can make it. Take
Yeah.
care." Um, Yeah, that's right. And Drew Barrymore's voice, you can totally tell it's Drew Barrymore once you know it. Like when I rewatched it after I found out that was her voice on the loudspeaker. So whenever it's
Really?
the camera's panning down when they're on the park benches, that's Drew
Yeah.
Barrymore that says, "School will be out to curfew tonight." That's Drew Barrymore, and you can totally tell it once you know it's her. Yeah,
You
it's
know,
true.
I read up on the movie, but I didn't see any of this. Oh, now
Yeah, man.
Oh, I guess I gotta watch it a third time. All right.
Watch it a third time and listen for it because you're going to hear
Yeah,
it. I'm telling you, when you hear that, when you hear
yeah.
Drew Barrymore, you'll know right away that's her on that speaker. And yeah, you'll yeah, Jackie, that's Drew Barrymore. It is. It sure is. That's so you
Okay, I'm
guys.
not alone. Okay, good. I was like,
Yeah,
wait a minute.
yeah, no, that's true. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, yeah. I mean, I heard Matthew Lillard the second time, but now I'll probably yeah. Wow,
Hmm.
that's
Go
crazy.
check it
Yeah,
out.
see, the OG is coming back. It's cool.
It is, man. Like Fall of Death, yeah, that's what I suggest too. Watch with headphones because if you're
Maybe
watching with
that's
the home
why.
theater set up, it's not as easy to hear it.
Maybe
But
that's
if you
why.
put your headphones on, you
Yeah,
really you're like, oh my gosh, that's totally
yeah,
Drew Barrymore. That's Matthew. That's Jamie Kennedy.
yeah.
It's pretty cool.
One time in the theater, one time in the basement, so maybe that's why.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I would throw it on with the headphones, man. If you
Okay.
have a way to do that, you do hear a lot more of the little fine details, and it just clears it up. It's even more, it's just more clear, you know.
Yeah.
Because again, when you got the boom and stuff with the center, the towers, the sub, it's a beautiful
Yeah.
thing. But it also you don't get those minute sometimes little
Yeah.
things. So
Yeah. Okay. I got some
Heavy Metal
homework to
says,
do.
I didn't know about the voiceovers. That's really, yeah, it's
Yeah.
very cool, man.
Yeah.
That's why I respect Wes Craven. Of course, I respect Wes Craven. Radio Silence, I mean,
Yeah. They honored it.
because they honored him. That's what I was trying to see. I was thinking of him while I
Yeah.
said that. They honored Wes Craven, which was
Yeah.
really really cool.
Yeah.
So guys, listen, I think we'll go ahead and call it a night. We're at 2 hours and 20 minutes, and we still got a great crowd. Still 25 folks that are hanging out with us this late at night, and this
Nice.
has been fun. So Bobby, let me ask you now, as a longtime Cravenite and a director's level Cravenite, which one of the perks is this live stream, what would you say to all those out there who may or may not be considering being one of the higher tier members? Did you enjoy your experience? Is this something
Oh,
you'd recommend?
this was fantastic. I've been looking forward to this for a long time, and I don't know if you
Oh,
could tell the nerves were kicking in, but I had a blast. This I would
good.
100% recommend it. If you
Oh
haven't
man.
upgraded, upgrade because you get to come on with Craven. It's like Steven,
Oh.
sorry. It's
Oh
so
no,
weird
either
calling him
one.
Steven.
That's all right.
So
I'm
weird.
fine with Steven. I'm fine with
Yeah,
Craven.
yeah, but
It's
no,
all good.
100% recommend it. And he lets you pick what you want to talk about. Like I got to pick Scream TV, which was incredible. Like because I love the show. And yeah, no, 100% recommend it. And this was a blast.
Oh man, thank you so much. I was a blast for me too. And again, these things go by so quick. We start talking,
They do.
and you're gone. 2.5 hours is just it's like
Yeah,
it's nothing. It's just over.
yeah, they do.
But it was so much fun. And thank you, Bobby, for all your support. And you've been a supporter of this channel for
Yeah,
so long and my content, man.
yeah,
And even before there was such thing as channel membership,
yeah,
you were such a strong supporter and have been and faithful.
yeah,
And so thank you, man,
yeah.
for being
Of
for
course.
all of your support. All your
Found
support.
found you completely on accident, but hey,
I love it.
just
See,
popped up on my YouTube and I saw the name and I'm like, huh. And you only had like 100 to 200 subscribers at the time.
that's right, man. Way back.
And
Yes.
the first video I watched, I went out of order. It was when you predicted that Vince was going to be Billy and Sydney's kid.
Oh, I remember. Yes,
Yeah,
I
that
sure.
was one.
I
I
had.
believe that was one of
Yep.
your first.
It was. It
Yeah.
was one of my first videos. It was.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay. I'm like, I can get with it. And now here you are at 3.5.
Uh, let's see where I'm at right
Okay.
now.
Yeah.
As of right now, I'm at 3,913. So I'm less than
Okay.
100
Yeah.
away. I'm right where I'm getting
Yeah.
4K is coming,
And
man. It's
what? And you started this channel what? September? You said October?
September. Yeah. So it's been
Yeah.
like 8 months
7
now.
months. Yeah.
Just hit it. Just yeah, something like that.
Mm.
7 months.
That's
So
incredible. Like yeah,
it's dude. I never expected, and
yeah,
I'm so humbled by it. I never expected the growth this quickly, and
yeah,
I'm so grateful. I pinch myself every day that
yeah,
that this is actually real. It's like it can't be real, you know,
yeah, for sure.
but it is
I feel
real,
you.
and
Yeah,
so yeah, I'm so blessed, and I'm like I say, 85 people away, subs away from hitting 4K. So that's pretty
awesome.
freaking cool. I'm
Yeah,
blown away by it. So
4K in 7 months.
and you were there, Bobby. Like I say, like
Yeah,
200 subs or whatever. You were
yeah.
way back.
I remember I looked and I'm like, oh, that's weird, because like it just popped up on my YouTube. I don't know how. I
That's
think
recommendations. Yeah,
yeah,
like the
Scream and all
recommendations.
that. And then
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'll check it out. And then I got to the Tatum video, and I was like, this is a pretty cool dude.
Oh, thank you, bud. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
And then you opened my eyes to so many things about the series. So,
Oh, good.
hey, thank you, Bob.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
yeah.
great. Brett says, thanks for all the love. I super enjoyed this stream. I rushed home from work to be a part of this. Oh, that's very nice.
I
Thank you,
love it.
Brett.
I
Thank
love
you,
it.
Brett. And Brett, thank you too for your support, man. You're being one of my Cravenites, man. Your support is much appreciated. It really
Yeah,
is. I thank you so much. Nate said that we made his Friday great. Oh, I'm so glad.
awesome.
That's what
Glad.
a great way to end the night on, knowing that that someone
Yeah.
enjoyed it and you guys had a
Hey,
good time. And
can't beat that.
thanks, Genevieve. Appreciate it. You're helping to make that happen. Heavy Metal Bear Club says we just put you closer to 4K. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you for the sub. Appreciate that. What's up, Tori? I'm at Coachella. I can tell 85 people to subscribe. Let's go. Get it
Coachella.
up,
Wow,
baby. Wow, that's crazy, Tori. That's amazing. Let's go. Maybe
that's
we'll hit
awesome.
maybe we'll hit 4K tonight.
Hey, hey,
That would be wake up with 4K. That would
that would
be insane. I'll tell you what. If Tori, if you make that happen tonight, then tomorrow morning I'll have a special live stream. I don't even care. I'll do some kind of 4K special live stream for like 30 minutes
love
just
it.
to say thank you. We'll do something. That's awesome,
Love it.
Tori. Appreciate you guys so much. And Father Death, yeah, man. Father Death also, I want to mention, I found his channel, and I
Oh,
believe
nice.
Jen also recommended his channel. Jen Warner, if you're still here, Jen, I'm not sure if Jen's still with us, but if she is here, then she had mentioned the channel because she was watched his video about Stu, and she actually sent me a message, and she said, "Hey, I think we've got someone else that's going to come on the stew train." I was like, "Oh, really?"
Father
Well, anyway,
Death.
long story
Okay.
short, I went to Father Death's channel, and he's got some great content. He's off to a great start, and I really enjoyed the video. Hey, Jen, yeah, Jen says I'm here. Okay, yeah, and
I'll
so
have
it
to
was a
check it
really
out.
good conversation. So I started watching his content. He has several videos, and it was, yeah. So basically, long story short, is I'll be bringing him on as a fellow content creator that will be coming on the channel sometime soon. We hadn't booked anything up. It's definitely coming. I look forward to it as well, my man. That'll be a good time. And Brett says, I'll do my best to support you. I need to be on one of your videos. Well, awesome, Brett. Well,
You got to
now
do
you
it.
know. Bobby
Yeah,
just shared how it can be done,
yeah.
right? There you go.
There you
Bobby
go.
laid it out. That's it, man. And this was so much fun, guys. I want to say thank you to everyone here and all of those I know who already have left. This was a great time. And Bobby, again, thank you, buddy. It was so fun walking down memory lane of Scream
Yeah.
TV.
Hey, man.
It really was.
Yeah.
I haven't done this
Yeah.
before on this channel.
Yeah,
So
it was awesome to get to talk to you about Scream 6 and Scream TV and anything and everything. Thank you for having me on, man. It was a blast.
absolutely. It's my
Yeah,
pleasure.
of
And thanks again for your support, man. Means the
course.
world to me. So,
Of course.
guys, listen, everyone here who is a channel member, or as we like to say now, Cravenite, I just love the sound of that. Everybody who is a Cravenite. And for those of you who are here who are not yet channel members, you still can be on the live stream tomorrow night. We're doing a live watch party for members only. It's Cravenites only. We're watching the movie Hatchet, and it's going to be tomorrow night, 9:15 Central Time. If you join the channel right now or tonight, I can get you an invitation to come watch it with us. So don't miss out on the opportunity. You can just hit that join button right now, and you'll be able to join and pick your tier. And
Yeah,
you might pick director's level tier like Bobby
yeah,
and be actually right here one day on the live stream.
yeah.
Bobby,
Of
thanks again, my friend.
course,
And
man.
hey, Bobby, not to put you on the spot, but are you gonna be able to make the live stream tomorrow night, or you got plans for the movie?
I should be there. I don't see why I wouldn't. At least
Okay,
listening. I'll be listening. Yeah.
but
I've never
listening,
seen
yeah,
Hatchet. I've never
I
seen
haven't.
Hatchet.
Me either.
Oh,
First
awesome.
time,
Yeah,
first time
yeah.
watch. So I'll
I,
be.
I, I'm a rookie in the horror game. I'll be honest. Yeah.
That's all right, man.
Yeah.
Look, we all start with our first and go up from there. That's how we all
Yeah.
did it. All
For
doing
sure.
it. And
Yeah.
there's so many I haven't seen still, man. There are so many movies like I never heard of that, or I never heard of that, and then even
Yeah.
some I have heard of, I have not been there. So it
Yeah.
never ends. It's a never ending cycle. They're continue making more. It's like, oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Never
But
gonna end.
it's going to be fun. A lot of people said the Hatchet's fun. Now here you go. Heavy Metal just posted and said, yeah, it's a fun movie.
It's just a fun
That's what I've
movie.
heard
Okay.
too. Oh, Brett said I've never seen it either. Well, great. At least I won't be the only person tomorrow night in the watch
Yeah,
party that
for
has
sure.
not seen it. That's good to know. I like that.
Yeah.
Uh, Bob says I'll be there. Awesome.
Uh,
Jen
uh-huh,
says
uh-huh.
I watched it, but I'll be there anyway. I
I
love
know where
that.
this is going.
I do too. And Brett again says I'll be there tomorrow. Thank you both. Have a great night. You too, Brett.
You
Appreciate
too,
you.
Brett.
Well, guys, listen, I think we'll call it a night. This has been fun, and I want to say to everyone in the chat, thank you for your time. Jen, this was your fifth live stream, I think you said earlier. So now you can go to bed. You can just
Wow.
go rest and rest your weary eyes at this point at
Yeah.
what 1 in the morning, and
Is it really? Wow.
Eastern 1 Eastern, yeah, midnight
It's,
Central. We
wow.
are burning that
All right.
midnight oil right now. So, but that's okay. What's what we do here? You guys know it.
Yeah.
But anyway, this was great. Everyone, thank you in the chat. Thank you for your super chats earlier. Appreciate all of that as well. And
Mm.
Bobby, once again, it's been great, my friend. Thank you for
Yep.
all of your support and your faithful contributions to the channel and to the comments and to everything. I
Of
appreciate
course.
you, bud.
Of course.
This was
Hey,
fun. This was
it's
a
my
lot of
honor.
fun.
You're
Oh,
putting out great content.
oh, thank you, buddy.
Yeah.
Or for me, I'll say to right back to you, it's an honor. I mean, I'm not Roger L.
It's
Johnson
an
here, but you know,
honor.
it's an
It's
honor.
an
An
honor.
honor.
Love it. I
All
love it.
right, guys.
Mhm.
All right, guys. Listen, don't forget if you're a channel member, Craven Night tomorrow night, 9:15 Central. We're going to watch Hatchet. If you're not a channel member, as Fate Decided would say, what are you doing? This is the time to do it. So either way, appreciate all of you guys. Bobby, I'll talk to you shortly, and everyone else, y'all have a good night, and I hope you'll all be there.